the door and keep your eyes shut. The lights flicker, there's evil all around us. No one's safe from the nightmare. Cold sweat, so scared. Someone get me out of here. Say, you better be afraid. The night's coming like fire from a hand grenade. There's no escaping tonight. It's coming alive.
Well, it's Tuesday night, August 29th, the last Tuesday in August. You know what it is, nationwide, worldwide, here on the SLG Network Live and on YouTube. On the SLG Network and my channel, Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Sports with Rich. Good evening, everyone, and good welcome to you on a Tuesday night. Hope everyone is well. Baseball. We're in the dog days of August, coming to an end, going into the September stretch in a matter of days. Hard to believe. We'll got a lot of that. Later, the key matchup tonight, Mets-Dodgers, Citi Field. Briefly later, our buddy Jason Schott, BrooklynDigest.com, will check in live with a report from Citi Field. Of course, we're going to have my fact of the week. Will you get it? That Aaron Judge bobblehead is still sitting here. And, of course, we will also have that guy with a lot of NFL talks, my co-host, Nobody Beats the Wiz, coming up, much more. Keep it in the ring. There he is, the Wiz, Robert Rizzo, and everyone asks for him, not for me. And that's becoming now a common thing whenever I'm around, and he's not there, and everyone's asking for the Wiz. How are you, Wiz?
I'm doing great. Another week of sports. You know what it is. Every week we got something going, boxing, baseball, football starting up. Very excited about football. We have a lot to talk about. But it was it's always
it's always good being around you, my friend, my young protege. We both write for LatinoSports.com, me with NewYorkSportsDay.com. Our social media handles are scrolled. You can reach us at the bottom here on your screen. Ring 786 at Twitter, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. We're everywhere. We'll be at Citi Field the next 2 nights. And the Wiz, of course, keeps learning and getting better and better. He is that rising superstar, as I say, in the business. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's what we want you to do here on the channel. Thank you always for your continued support each and every week here. We're also heard on Spotify and more various apps where you can hear our program. Wiz, I had something else to say before we started, and it just skipped my mind because, again, my old age is catching up to me. But there's so much sports going on, so I guess we can get right to it, right, my friend?
Oh, yeah, let's get right to it. There's a lot to talk about.
All right, and we want to talk first about an event that we attended with Latino Sports this past weekend in the Bronx, an annual event, the 28th annual celebrity basketball event. Julio Porbon, the head of Latino Sports, who we dearly love and support, as part of LatinoSports.com. He's done this event now 28 years. And I'm glad to say, in the celebrity basketball game, Latino Sports brought the trophy home. And Bronx Health Medical Center, give a shout out to them, the Martin Luther King Health Center, free health screenings. A great event on a nice day at Orchard Beach in the Bronx. If you don't know where that is and you're ever in New York, go visit Orchard Beach. I don't go there often. Neither does the Wiz, but we're glad we went there, Wiz. It was a great day for both of us and for Latino Sports.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. It's always good giving back to the community like that. Anything medical services, they were giving the high cholesterol screenings, blood screenings, all types of stuff. So just to give back like that, I was glad to be a part of it. And it was a great turnout. Latino Sports won, and then for the senior celebrity all-star game, it was Harlem Legends versus Puerto Rican Legends, and that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I can't believe those guys who are even a little older than me, some not too much younger, how they went up and down that court like it was no problem. If I did that, you'd have to call the paramedics. But what a great – we all had a great time. We'll get to that with you a little later in the program. You didn't play, and I'm going to tell everyone why, okay? But we'll get to that later. So great event again. Congratulations to Latino Sports and Julio Porbon for their 28th annual Celebrity Basketball Health Fair event this past weekend. Now, moving on, as we get to a lot of baseball tonight on Sports with Rich here live on the SLG Network and on YouTube. And like, comment, and subscribe, as I tell you. Old Timers Day at Citi Field, where I attended because I'm an old timer. I qualify, and it was a great event. Congratulations to the Mets bringing back an event that hasn't been there since 1994. This one in particular is special. You had guys from the 86 championship team and some of the 69 Miracle Mets and some more current Mets. But the highlight, I believe, besides all the celebration and looking at Mets history on Saturday, were the comments by these old timers. And some of them, again, not really looking themselves as old timers, including Daniel Murphy, who played a significant role in that 2015 Mets team that went to the World Series only to lose to the Royals because he went on a home run tear. But Ray Knight has not been around the Mets organization in a long, long time because of the Wilpons, previous ownership. The current owner, new owner, Steve Cohen, is a Mets fan by trade and wants the legends to return. Jay Hurwitz, who's the head now of alumni relations, friend of mine for a long time, and all of us in the media. He was a media relations manager for years for the New York Mets. He put this all together. It took him a year to do it. Great job. Ray Knight right away. I'm coming back. Ray Knight on the podium, along with Andy Chavez, who was a big part of that 2006 NL championship team, and he made that great catch in right field. Was on that podium with Murphy, and the managers were there, Bobby Valentine, Terry Collins. And it was great to see a lot of the old managers, even Joe Torre, who to me was never really a New York Met, which became a discussion. Still, he was a Mets manager, played a role in their history. But Ray Knight made this comment. He said, how did it feel to return? And he said, I love the New York Mets. I don't like the Wilpons, and that created quite a stir.
Yeah, big time on social media, everywhere. That was the number one trending thing with the Mets and the day of the Saturday. But I just want to shout out the Mets and big thank you to Steve Cohen and the Mets PR department. Getting to see Jose Reyes, Daniel Murphy, Billy Wagner with the 86 team, the 2000 team, the 69 team. So stuff like that, it doesn't go unnoticed by the fans and the media. That was a special day in the Mets franchise.
So Steve Cohen asked the Met fans months ago, last year when he assumed ownership, should we bring back Old Timers Day? And of course, they responded resoundingly. They wanted this. They got it. And you hope the Mets now make this an annual event at Citi Field, and quite a job, as I said. Pedro Martinez was also a star of the show Saturday, and you can read my column, Latino Sports, where I spelled it out as best I could. He met with DeGrom. He met with Max Scherzer, two pitchers that could lead them to October and a World Series this year. He told them in the clubhouse, and he let us all know in the media on Saturday, he said to both, get it done for me. We have unfinished business to do. And the Mets are trying to do that, even as they continue to play out the schedule with the LA Dodgers beginning of a 3-game series tonight. So great job by the Mets. And then we were all surprised with this. And, surprises with the Mets, usually you never know. But this was a major surprise that kept it hushed, even though many gave this criticism as well, because he didn't play that long with the Mets wearing number 24. But Willie Mays' uniform is now hanging from Jersey, the Raptor, hanging from the Raptors, along with about 7 others. And it seems like the Mets are now into retiring numbers and putting them above the Raptors. And Sandy Alderson, the team president, said, are you surprised when a secret remains a secret with the Mets? Another one of those comments that were very interesting coming out of Old Timers Day on Saturday. Number 24 is now hanging with 11 others at Citi Field with the Mets, and not 11 others, I think 7 others, but 11 other players in baseball history have had their uniforms retired by 2 clubs, including the great Hank Aaron, who to me still remains the all-time home run leader in baseball legitimately. And that also includes Nolan Ryan, with his 7 no-hitters, and once also a New York Met. Couldn't make it this year. Maybe he'll be there next year, Wiz.
Yeah, hopefully he's there next year. That would be great for the Hall of Fame and all baseball fans.
So we move on to the current day Mets. Jason Schott will be us with in a moment. And we're looking at tonight's series with the LA Dodgers, two of the top teams in baseball. You know, the Dodgers are a tough team. They are leading baseball. They lead their division, the NL West, by 19 games. They're heading big time in October. They got a lot of momentum. They're a deep team. There's about 3-4 guys in their lineup are not hitting more than 200. Doesn't matter. They still score a lot of runs and lead baseball in that category. They're 43-10 since June 29th. And an 8-game lead over the Mets for that home field advantage if the Mets should get that far in the National League in the postseason. The Dodgers, though, hurting in pitching. And we find out Tony Gonsolin, who's he's on injured list right now, forearm strain. Dodgers have had their problems with their starting rotation with injuries. Kershaw's coming back Thursday. We'll see him Thursday late afternoon at Citi Field. But the Dodgers, without Gonsolin, he's a National League leader in 16 wins among pitchers with a 2.10 ERA. Teams batting against him have a 169 average. So it might hurt them a little bit. He should be back by mid-September. They don't say it's a serious injury. But they're already without the Dodgers, without Walker, and without Buehler. Without Buehler, rather. So they might be hurting a little bit again in the pitching department without Gonsolin right now. But I don't think it'll impact them. They're a solid lineup. We're going to see them now for 3 games. The Mets split with them 4 games in L.A. back in June. What is your take on that briefly, Wiz?
I don't think it's going to overall impact them for the season. Just a few weeks, if anything. They proved it all season with all the injuries that they're the top team in baseball. Their run differential is over 100 to the second team in the category. So they've just been leading the whole way. The one concern for me is the bullpen. And I believe they're 11-11 in one-run games this season. And those one-run games, that makes for October. That's October baseball right there. So if they can't settle it down in August and September, it might be an issue come October time.
And the Mets haven't faced many left-handers tonight. They've got one in Haney starting for the Dodgers. It's one thing the Mets have done well against left-handers as well this year. This guy, Jacob deGrom, we all know. He's like the talk all the time here in New York. And deGrom's going to get the start tomorrow night. So you figure the Mets might have the advantage of winning the game tomorrow night. The pitching's all set up for the rest of this series. And I'm going to pull it up briefly here. Give me a moment. Unless you have it before me, Wiz, you always get things before me anyway. But,
I know the Mets probables. The Dodgers I'm here and there on. Kershaw I know is going Thursday. We got
I got it right here. I pulled it up finally, and I know the fans have this before me anyway. So what the heck am I talking about? All right. Tomorrow night, Tyler Anderson 13-2 against deGrom. And Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, Clayton Kershaw coming back 7-3 with the 2.64 ERA against Chris Bassett, who's got the 11-7, 3.34 ERA for the Mets, and he's been doing real well consistently on the mound for them. So, interesting 3 games, and deGrom, you assume the Mets will score runs for him, can win this, coming out of tonight. Here's my take on it. This guy, Canna, for the Mets.
Yep.
Canna. Well, I say Canna. That's what I say because you know what? He's streaky, and he's a big part of this lineup, Wiz.
Yeah, he's a big time in this lineup, and he's clutch when it comes down to it. He's batting .406 in the last two weeks, 13 hits. And the biggest thing about him, along with Starling Marte, is they get hit a lot. They get on base. They put the ball in play. They put pressure on the opponents. And we saw it tonight in the first inning. Starling Marte putting the ball in play on a sac bunt. Things happen. But going back to Cano, with runners in scoring position this season, 289 batting average, 28 hits, 39 ribbies. I believe he has 50 on the season. So anytime there's a guy on base, he's driving them in.
And the Mets do get hit by pitchers. What was it, 84?
85 tonight.
Yeah, they're going for a record, MLB record. I think the record's 10. What is it? 109 for the
10,
season.
105 or 106 by the Reds back in
Are
the
they
80s.
throwing at the Mets intentionally, or are they just crowding the plate too much?
I think it's both, honestly. I think they're crowding the plate here and there, especially with Marte and Canna. We see it. They inch up on the plate a lot. Lindor got hit a lot in the first half, along with Alonso, but it slowed down in the second half for sure. But it takes one bad pitch and a guy can be out for the season. So these guys got to be careful on the mound.
I know it gets to Buck Showalter every time a player is hit. The SNY cameras here, the regional network for New York Mets baseball, they show him on fire. His face is on fire. Can't blame him because every time a Met gets hit, you wonder if another injury is coming. And we're going down that stretch where every day is important because the Braves are right on the Mets' tails. So the Mets do have, it looks like, the easy part of the schedule is the Braves begin that series with the Rockies. The Mets should have swept the Rockies over the weekend. The problem is a lot of guys on this team are not hitting, and that's a problem when you're facing the Dodgers, who have the best ERA in baseball as a staff, despite all of their issues, with a 2.84 ERA. Another reason why the Mets are not consistent, they've been, look, let's face it, Wiz, losing 1-0 to the Rockies on Sunday, not hitting, and they've been showing that the last few games, might be a reason, might be their detriment to maybe losing first place by the end of this week. It could happen if they don't hit. You can pitch all you want, but you got to give your run support. This guy, Francisco Lindor, go figure him out. 0 for his last 19 coming into tonight.
Yeah, he's been struggling big time. He has a 48 batting average in his last 6 games. 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. So when he's going, the Mets are going overall. It's him and Alonso overall. When they're going, the Mets are going on all aspects offensively, and it goes defensively. When they're hitting the ball, defense shows, and it's just good camaraderie around the dugout, the clubhouse.
I don't know what to say. All the years I'm around baseball, you play a long season, you get to this part of the season, guys get tired. We know that. But Lindor is a streaky player. But when Lindor hits, like you said, the Mets will win their share of ball games. Not to say that he's the only guy, but guys in this lineup the last few games have not picked it up. And again, the Braves are right on their tails. So the Mets have to start scoring some runs. Lindor in his first at bat tonight, he's 0 for 1. On the other side of town in New York, we talk about it all here. Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also, your comments in the cube. Questions, comments, we'll get to them as soon as we can when they come up. Please contribute to the program. We want you to do that. Those Yankees, you talk about the Mets not hitting, the Yankees stopped. They don't know how to buy a hit. Last night, the Angels again. Oakland series, how many hits did they get in 4 games?
Ooh, after that Thursday game, they only had like 7 or 8 runs overall. Thursday, they scored 13.
Now, they called up this young man who's doing everything for them. And you got to wonder how long this kid can keep doing it. Oswaldo Cabrera, the last night, he did not, he goofed, a couple of times. Here's Cabrera in his debut at Yankee Stadium a week ago before the Yankees went on the road. His kick and play, positions in the infield and the outfield, overall defensively, very good. We've seen that. And he does get on base for this team. Right now, he's got a spot in the lineup, whether it be in the infield or somewhere in the outfield. Yankees are going to play him every day. They need him, but hopefully he could start hitting some more. And I like the kid. Does he have a future down the line? He's going to be on the postseason roster. I don't know.
I think he will. He's been moving his way, progressing his way game by game with the Yankees roster. 261 batting average, 12 hits, 3 doubles. It feels like just a few games ago he's just started up, but he's making a highlight reel every game. Third base, right field, shortstop, second base. He's proven his versatility, and that's what the Yankees need right now. They need an energy boost. They need a spark of any kind, and we thought they had it with the Mets Subway Series with him in the clubhouse, in the dugout, but it just didn't show in the West Coast trip so far.
You just mentioned energy boost. I mean, he's young like you. He has a lot of energy, as you always have. Because you always got that iced coffee on you. That's why. But this other guy, Giancarlo Stanton, since he's back from the injured list, hasn't been doing much for the Yankees in that lineup. Right now, he's hurting them, I think.
Yeah, he's been struggling big time. The Achilles is a tough injury to come back from, and I feel like they might have rushed him back a little too quick. And when he's putting the ball in plays, he's hitting missiles every time, but a lot of strikeouts. I think he'll progress his way back into hitting like he usually does, home runs every time. But that's the way Stan is. Streaky, exactly.
Yeah, he's streaky. That's for sure. If he doesn't strike you out, walk, he'll hit a home run. This guy, though, if he doesn't hit a home run, the Yankees can't seem to win anyway. When he hit one last night, a milestone, number 50, he's on pace to break that Yankee season home run record, Roger Maris, 61. Number 50 last night was a moonshot. All Judge's home runs are one of 10 players in Major League Baseball history with multi-50 home run seasons. He is your AL MVP no matter what.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He's definitely the MVP. He's going to break Roger Maris's record. It's just a matter on when. And I totally understand Shohei Ohtani voters out there that want him to win MVP. But I just feel like Aaron Judge breaking this milestone, this MLB milestone, not just the Yankee milestone, I think that case closed right there. That's the MVP. But when you said Judge and the Yankees winning, when he's hitting, the Yankees win. 327 batting average in wins, 238 batting average in losses. So it just shows you right then and there. If Judge isn't hitting, the Yankees aren't.
So why don't the Yankees, like a lot of players are getting signed for the long-term contracts, but the Yankees are not doing it. They want to wait till the season's over. Why don't they end this dilemma and just sign the damn guy? Give him the money. Because I feel that he's not going to be in New York next year. I feel he's going to want that money, or his agents, whatever he's commanding. Aaron Judge is not going to be a Yankee. He deserves it.
Yeah, it's a tough call, and I think it's just a question we're going to have to wait till the offseason, because he said from the beginning of the opening day, he said we're not talking contract until the end of the season. So it all comes down to the postseason. If they win and come out on top, it's a different discussion about Aaron Judge and the contract.
Yeah, now producer Calvin behind the scenes at the SLJ Network, he's got to intervene because he's a Milwaukee Brewer fan. He's telling us Judge to the Brewers? No. Brewers don't have the payroll for that, Calvin. You know that. Come on. All right? Now, here's a guy you shouldn't pay anymore, and I don't think he'll be on the postseason roster at this point. What the hell is wrong with Aroldis Chapman? Now he goes on the injured list because he got an infection from a tattoo on his knee. As if this guy doesn't have enough tattoos on him as it is. Crazy.
It's a stupid decision overall. Why get a tattoo in August? The season's over in late October, no matter what, early November. You could have just waited. And to begin with Chapman, this is his worst season in his career. Worst year ERA, 4.7. Second fewest strikeouts in a season. He only has 35 for the season. You think of Aroldis Chapman, you think of the flamethrower.
Well, you know, he hasn't been closing. Aaron Boone is gone with closer by committee. They did get a boost, but Clay Holmes brought back last night off the injured list. Pitched an inning, did a good job. Yankees having bullpen issues. We know injuries, and they're not forming. You need the bullpen in the late innings now to win ball games. Every team does, especially down the stretch, as they're trying to hold on. You know, I don't think they're going to collapse, Wiz, as bad as they've been. They showed some signs of getting at it again Thursday night in Oakland. 19 runs it was, right? But, you know, then they go back and they don't score anything. They stop not hitting again, and you wonder why. And, you know, after this series in with the Angels out there in Anaheim, L.A., they're going to Tampa Bay. And all of a sudden, the Rays, they're only trailing the Yankees, by 7 games coming into tonight? That could be an interesting series, because if the Rays take 2 out of 3 or even sweep the Yankees, and that's very possible, we have a pennant race all of a sudden in the American League East.
Yeah, big time. You don't want it to go down to 5 or 4 in any way, shape, or fashion if you're a Yankee fan. This season against Tampa, they're 8-5, and there's 6 games to go. Their next 10 games, 6 of them is against Tampa. So they got to win those games to advance their lead in the AL East.
Oh, I hear rumblings in Yankee land every day, talk radio, reading about it. I wonder what the result's going to be with this team come the end of September going into October. But they are not showing signs of consistency or being the team, as I mentioned last week, that they were the first few months of the season. And to me, the Yankees are in a lot of trouble. They're the oldest team in baseball roster-wise. They are beset with injuries, and they can't seem to snap out of this hitting slump that's up and down the lineup. They don't score a lot of runs no more, and if anything, their starting pitching is mediocre to this point, even without Nestor Cortez. But they are not the same team. We know that. All right, more Yankee talk in a moment, but let's look at what happened again with a fan at Citizens Bank Park just a few nights ago. The Phillies and the Reds. And, a Red fan there in the outfield starts berating as Jack Fraley berates a Philly fan after he was being heckled. And the continuing problem with fans and ball players in the outfield is continuing. We saw that incident early in the season in New York, Cleveland, and the Yankees. And that got really, really, that got into be a dangerous situation. Here, Fraley berates a fan after being heckled, and it's all over. It was viral. You know what he said? He was booed out, and he said, "Shut the F up Thursday." And the Phillies lost. To me, that's uncalled for, Wiz, and I don't know when that's going to stop. I mean, it's out of hand. It really is.
It was definitely out of hand. I feel like every week we're talking about this stuff, either a fight in the stadium, fan running on the field, a fan cursing out a player cursing out a fan. It's just ever since the pandemic, fans don't know how to react in these stadiums, and we say it week by week. Go to the game, enjoy yourself. The biggest thing is getting home safe and enjoying yourself while you're there.
You know what, Wiz? Ever since the pandemic or since it, people don't know how to behave all over in society. I mean, I know that. I've come across that. I don't know if I'm the same. I don't know if you're the same. But I know this. I see more and more people just going nuts, doing whatever they want to do, saying what I want to say. That's an issue for another matter, but don't do it at the ballpark. I always said sports is fun and games. Keep it that way, and just let the players play. Boo all you want. Say what you want. Don't use profanity. There's a lot of young people around you in the stands. And most of all, it can get serious like we've been seeing. So enough of that. But more bad news. Major League Baseball suspended 6 players out of the Dominican Summer League. PEDs were the issue. And again, 4 pitchers were implicated out of the Dominican Summer League. And you get a lot of that. You get a lot of 4 pitchers. And we got a comment up on the screen from Ray. What did he say?
Yeah, Ray from Facebook said, "There's nothing wrong with trash talking opposing fans, players, but you can do it in a playful, respectful manner. People forget these things." I totally agree with Ray.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Yeah, it's just respectful manner, and that's the way it's got to be. No cursing in front of children. That it can't be going on in the stadium.
No, it takes away from the fun of the game and being at the ballpark. But again, MLB getting into action with 6 players in the Dominican Summer League suspended because of PEDs, and again, 4 pitchers. And we're going to get more into this in the weeks to come. I'm going to talk to some people in baseball, put them on the air, 1 or 2 that have more knowledge of the situation. In the Dominican Republic, this is a growing and continuing issue. It's been for years, and it continues, and it hasn't been stopped. All right. Yankees pitching prospect Matt Sora, second pick of 2017, the pick, strikes out 17 batters in Double-A Somerset. Goes to show you how rich the Yankees are in their organization with that. And Josh Hader to the Padres. All right, Cal, listen. You didn't miss Hader that much because 4.2 innings and 12 runs, 12 hits, 7 walks, 8 strikeouts. Who knew when he left Milwaukee that he'd be this bad, Cal? Tell me about it later. Unbelievable. One of the top closers in baseball has become one of the worst. And then this guy, Julio Rodriguez, good news. And this goes to show what the new CBA and baseball is doing. Owners are they're getting players and they're signing them long term. 21 years old, multi-millionaire. 14-year contract could be worth up to $400 million. What did you think of that, Wiz?
He proved it since April. Julio Rodriguez is a superstar in the making. I'm glad Seattle Mariners front office got ahead of it instead of waiting for him just to extend that contract and the money even more and more. He's 21 years old, out of Dominican Republic. I wrote a brief article about that on Latino Sports, about the contract details, with everything going on. He's the only rookie this season with 20 or more homers and 20 or more stolen bases. Definitely going to win Rookie of the Year. 264 batting average. And right now, he's leading the Mariners to the promised land when it comes to October, a land they haven't made since, 2001? The longest playoff drought in Major League Baseball right now.
Oh, by the way, the Dodgers are up on the Mets 3-2. We'll get more to that later. Jason Schott coming up.
It's funny you bring that up. I believe we have Jason here.
Want to put him on now, and then we'll continue?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's get him on now, and then we'll continue the baseball talk. We might as well. All right, briefly, let's get an update from Citi Field. Our buddy Jason Schott, BrooklynDigest.com, who is becoming a regular on this program. God, I can't get rid of him. Try to see if we can keep the crowd noise down. Not going to be on with us long, but Jason, 3-2 Dodgers. How did it happen?
Yep. Well, let's see. In the third inning, Barnes led off with a single. Then Mookie Betts doubled. Then Walker got the next two out, but then he went off the rails. He walked Max Muncy, and then he plunked Joey Gallo in the back. So Joey Gallo ended up getting an RBI, a bases loaded RBI, and then the big blow was a 2-run hit to Gavin Lux. But Starling Marte got one of those runs back with a laser to left field, a home run in the bottom half. That made it 3-2, and then Francisco Lindor nearly made it back-to-back, but he hit one that was caught right in front of the left field fence. So it's 3-2, bottom four right now.
Well, I just got an update here now. It's 3-3, Jason.
Oh, I'm in the back room.
No, well, yeah, Jason, we really don't need you. We have technology, but I had to get you on because you're there. But
that was first of all, that was a great update. It sounded like a TV.
Yeah,
like
left center field home run for. How about Cano? Cano just did it, a home run. Like I said, we were talking about just moments ago how consistent he's become in this Mets lineup. Ties it up 3-3. So a good ball game. Now, I heard Joey Gallo got booed, and even though he was across town with the Yankees, but Met fans still booed him, huh?
Well, there could be some Yankee fans here too, Rich. Who knows? But yeah, he got booed, and it's interesting. Going back to Marcano, Buck Showalter said before the game he would call him a baseball player, and he said he means that in the highest compliment. Couldn't have spoken better about Marcano, and then also Jeff McNeil as well. Those two have carried the Mets through August, where they've already won 18 games, which is up there with one of the best months in their team history, with 2 days to go.
We talked about
before the game.
We talked about before with Marcano and his impact on the Mets offensively, obviously. But what do you think of Starling Marte already? He had a sac bunt that got him on in the first inning. He homered in the third inning, I believe. What have you seen throughout the season that the impact on Starling Marte on the Mets?
Oh, he's been everything you could dream of. I mean, he has now 15 RBIs, 60 RBIs, just a consistent tough hitter, top of that lineup. I mean, a guy like that hitting second, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, a guy like that could be a cleanup hitter for sure. So, I mean, he's been everything they dreamed of. I mean, I read an article recently that was very true, that all the Mets free agents worked. And then, frankly, you can say the same about their deadline acquisitions. I mean, it's just unbelievable how complete this team is, and they're playing a team tonight that's as complete in Los Angeles.
The pitching matchups, Jason Schott, are set for the Mets for the rest of this series. Jacob deGrom tomorrow night. Kershaw coming back Thursday. Briefly, what is your take?
Tomorrow's going to be the big one, deGrom against Tyler Anderson for the Dodgers, who this big lefty who's just unbelievable. I mean, the Dodgers, it's incredible. Every year they bring up one guy from the minors, and he just excels. I think he's like 13-2 or something like that. And then Kershaw against Chris Bassett, who's been incredibly hot for the Mets on Thursdays. I mean, this is going to be some series. I mean,
Yeah, this is the prelude, as many say, to the NLCS. The two best teams in the National League, in fact, the two best teams in baseball right now. And fans are in for a treat. We'll be there tomorrow night and Thursday. We're going to see you there. Jason, did you see Joe, the trumpet Narco?
I did.
Did you see Narco on the field with Edwin Diaz before the game?
I did. I saw Timmy Trumpet. He said, "Where's Rich?" He was looking for you.
All right, Will, he wasn't looking for me. He knows I'm a Weezer fan, so he knows that.
You're a big fan.
Jason, yes, I'm a you never knows I'm a Weezer fan. Anyway, Jason, does Narco become live tonight?
I think
Does
so.
Edwin Diaz get to hear him live?
I think if LA was going to blow this open, they would have done it in the third. I mean, Walker had a good bounce back inning. So, I mean, the Mets certainly could lead this one late, or if it's tied, Buck has shown he'll go to Diaz as early as the eighth inning.
Right.
So I think we will hear him tonight.
Do you have your trumpet available?
I don't think I've had a trumpet since I was about 7 years old. Some toy set, you know.
Buck Showalter has to be happy the way things have been going, despite the Mets bats going quiet. Jason, excuse me. Get back to the ball game. Thanks for your few precious moments. I know you're busy over there at Citi Field. You could break in with some comments on the cube later, especially if Narco comes in. And as always,
I'll be ready.
Thank you for your time. All right, Jason Schott.
Thank you, Jason.
Gotcha.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I probably have him on again next week. He's becoming a regular whiz. It's Jason Schott, BrooklynDigest.com. Does a great job. And he's a great supporter of this program. We appreciate him looking in as the Mets 3-3 now with the Dodgers, top of the fifth at Citi Field. Back to the baseball talk. All right. One of our favorites was Sandy Alcantara of the Marlins, ending for that NL Cy Young Award. 21 years old. No, what am I talking about? Well, he's young. I don't know. What is he, 22, 23? Complete game. Talk about those Dodgers. He threw a great game against them this week.
He's phenomenal. I think he's 27 overall, but fourth complete game of the season. And to do that against the Dodgers, come on. We talked about the Dodgers to begin the show. Their offense is just so deep, that lineup. And for him to go at him 9 innings, he does it every outing, it seems like. 185 innings pitched on the season. The next guy in the category has 168, something like that. So he's leading the category in that. 12-6, 2.1 ERA. And without him, the Marlins would be with the Nationals in last place, fighting for that last place spot, because with him on the mound, they're 16-10 this season.
This is one of those young superstars in a game. He continually gets better. This guy's been around. The Cardinals are first place NL Central. Cal's Brewers have to contend with that. Paul Goldschmidt, MVP maybe, on his way. And tell us a bit about what Goldschmidt has done the past few days, Wiz.
Yeah, I think he's assured to win the MVP as it goes right now. He's on pace. He could win the Triple Crown, all said and done. 335 batting average, that leads the league. 105 ribbies, I believe that's tied with Alonso for the National League lead. And he's in second place with 33 homers. We have about 39 games left. I really think Goldschmidt's going to do it. And Nolan Arenado, his teammate, praised him every single game. He says something about him, how he's a 5-tool player. In the clubhouse, he's always helping players out, his teammates, coaches, anything that comes with the Cardinals. It's from Arenado, Adam Wainwright, Yachty, Goldschmidt. They have so many all-star caliber players, future and Hall of Famers to begin with, in Pujols and Yachty.
And the big addition of Jordan Montgomery in their rotation, Steven Matz comes back soon, being on the injured list. Yeah, Nick Alvarez tuned in and said that he's with the SLG Network, part of our staff here behind the scenes, and he says that Dodgers-Mets game is on fire. We know that. We're listening and watching as we talk to you. All right, so the postseason format by MLB was revealed, and you know what? 18 teams are within 7 slots, vying for 7 slots. 18 teams. It's going to be really, really interesting, Wiz, down the stretch. Take a look at it.
Yeah, there's so much going on. With the 1 and 2 seeds having the first round bye, it reminds me of NFL playoffs just right off the bat. But I like it. I think it's good for the game it gives more to the regular season and trying more, honestly. Dodgers, they're going to be the 1 seed. Mets or Braves are going to be the 2 seed when it's all said and done. Because I don't think the Cardinals.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the standings as we go into play tonight. Take a look. We'll put them up. Let's talk about it a little bit, and also take note that the Astros got a little blow today when Justin Verlander, at his age, 37 years old, vying for a NL Cy Young. He could get that, but he went on the injured list today with a bad calf, and they don't think it's going to be a major injury to Verlander. And Albert Pujols continues to make history. 694 home runs now. He got one last night. Incredible. 42 years of age. Let's take a look at the standings. Cal, put them up, Cal. Do we have the standings up there where we can look at? There we go. All right, Wiz, let's take a look at what we got coming into play today.
The battle for that one seed's Dodgers, Mets right now in Queens. The next 3 days, that's the matchup to tune into. If you're a baseball fan, you got to tune into Dodgers, Mets the next 3 days. Cardinals most likely going to be the 3 seed. I believe they have a 6-game lead on the Brewers, so you can lock that up. Braves and Mets, they can go back and forth. We've been saying it, and the Braves have a favorable schedule just as much as the Mets do. The Mets, I think the hardest 3 series is against the Brewers, the Dodgers going on right now, and that 3-game series against the Braves. So that's going to spice up September. I think the Phillies, they'll definitely get in with Bryce Harper coming back. That's a big addition to your lineup, former MVP, defending MVP, honestly. And the Padres, I think they're going to get that final spot. They've been struggling offensively. They're 14 and 13 in August. And it seems like ever since they got Soto, they can't hit offensively at all.
No, they really, really are not hitting the ball. You're right, Wiz. The wild card in NL is interesting, and the Phillies are up by a game and a half for that third spot. So the Padres are in that. The Brewers not far behind, and after that, that's about it. Take a look at the American League right now, and I still say watch the Phillies because they could be dangerous down the stretch. Take a look at the American League, and let's analyze this a bit. The Yankees, of course, that lead is dwindling a little bit. Some say it's safe. I say, yeah, but it's going to be interesting. Tampa Bay 7 games out. The Central race with the Indians and the Twins, that's a game and a half right now, and the White Sox are still in at 5 games out.
Yeah, that's going to be an enticing matchup and run down to September, honestly, because right now there's 4 teams with four games in between each other. So just like that, I think the Orioles will definitely get in. 2 games out right now. When you look at the stats on their bullpen, that's the proving point when it comes to Baltimore. They have Cedric Mullins, they have Adley Rutschman, but you don't want to lose Baltimore past the 7th inning. They have guys coming out of the bullpen left and right.
Oh, yeah. Agree. The wild card in the American League is going to be interesting as we go into September because you have Tampa Bay and Seattle right now holding 2 spots. Toronto tying to end as the 13 get in. But then you got the Orioles, you just mentioned, 2 games away from it. The Twins, 3 games away from it. The White Sox, 6.5. So I think the American League wild card down the stretch, that's what baseball likes. That's going to go down to the wire. Remember, that's 3 teams now, not 2.
That's what fans love. I still remember it from last year. The Seattle Mariners run the last 2 weeks, although they didn't make it at the end. Everyone was tuned into every matchup going on in Seattle. Sold out crowds to end September. That's what baseball is all about, the intensity before the playoffs and obviously, most importantly, in the playoffs come October.
All right, and in Major League Baseball jumped ahead to next year. And they, I don't like this format, this schedule. Let's briefly talk about this because every team is going to face every team at least 2 times. Everybody plays each other. How are they going to do this? They put the schedules out, but there's going to be 52 divisional games, 64 interleague games. And tell you is, I don't know what they're doing here. I don't understand it. 2 games against each other, every team. And to me, more so that takes away from the postseason where you want to see teams match up with each other in the postseason. Interleague play has already ruined that a bit. But now you're going to see teams play each other twice. But everybody faces each other. It's a free-for-all in baseball next year. I don't know how they're going to work the traveling out, but they don't have many off days. I looked at the schedules.
Yeah, in the next coming years, they have to figure out a balance because I do like the idea of having different teams come in year by year because honestly, Mets fans and New York fans overall, they got to see a guy like Shohei Ohtani more than once a year. Same with Aaron Judge against the Dodgers. They got to Los Angeles fans, California fans got to see those guys, and that's the way to grow the game. But at the same time, like you're saying, where's the Phillies Mets matchups? It's only two series now. Red Sox,
the rivalries. Yeah, you want to see teams, rivalries. You want to see them play them. I'd like to see divisional opponents play each other 19 times like it used to be. I want to see the rivalries. Fans would like to see that more so for divisional play and going for, maybe it gives an incentive that now you got to go win the divisional title, gets more competition. I don't know what they're thinking, but the players voted this. The players wanted this in the new CBA, and there they go. They got it. You talk about the Dodgers again. Mookie Betts. I know he's one of your favorite players. We're going to see him now for 2 nights in town, and this guy's phenomenal.
Yeah, he does it every time on the field. It's not just offense. He makes the game-winning plays on defense. We saw it in the postseason with the Red Sox, with the Dodgers. He's a 2-time World Series champion, 2018 MVP. This season, he's on MVP pace. Obviously, Goldschmidt's going to win it, but 385 in the last 10 games. He won NL Player of the Week. He has 15 hits in that stretch with 4 homers. And when you think of the LA Dodgers offensively, it's Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, and Mookie Betts. That's the scariest trio in baseball.
It really
honestly.
is. It really is. And then when you go down the line, you look at the batting averages in that lineup. They don't stand out. They don't stand out. But as I said earlier, they get on base and the Dodgers score a lot of runs, which they've done. That's why they lead Major League Baseball. In fact, they lead the Mets coming in tonight by 76 runs, the tops in baseball. And that will win ball games with good pitching, which they had despite all the adversity. Well, we'll take up the baseball talk more later on. Right now, we know what's coming up. I got to present the fact of the week. The Aaron Judge bobblehead is still here on Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe SLG Network. Also on my YouTube channel, Rich Mancuso. And, of course, leave your comments and questions in the queue. And if you get the answer to the fact of the week, you get the Aaron Judge bobblehead. So bring Cal in briefly. He's also going to, when we go to break, he's going to provide the first sports update of the night. Well, there's Cal. He's got the hood on tonight.
Of course, I've always got the hood on. You know that.
Why? Because is it that cold in Milwaukee?
So no,
is it that cold in Milwaukee, or is it that cold for your Milwaukee Brewers?
Okay. All right, that's a little low, Rich. You know, the Brewers stink. You know, it's top of the third. We can't even score against the Pirates. It is what it is.
Spoken like a true fan as you are, Cal. and I'm sure you're getting ready for your Green Bay Packers as well.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl champions going to be this year. Absolutely.
All right.
All right, fat chance on that, my friend, but we'll see. All right, we got our NFL special coming up next week, and we're definitely going to get your views on that. All right, Cal, you ready? Wiz,
I'm ready.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
Where is the fact of the week this week? It's brief, and excuse me, I'm all choked up. Hold on.
It must be a tough one.
No, it's because I'm getting older. Taking a lot of, I get a lot of wind out of me when I talk like this, you know.
Sure.
But anyway, this is a tennis question. You know, the U.S. Open, we'll talk about Serena later. U.S. Open taking place right across the street from Citi Field this next 2 weeks. I haven't covered the Open in a long time.
Sure.
I'm not going to cover it again this year because it's the height of the baseball season with all the boxing going on. And I like tennis except for this. I got a stiff neck. And I'll never understand why they go love, 30 love, 40 love. But it's a great game. And the outfits they wear. But this is a time of year for tennis buffs. And the U.S. draws a lot of people. But you know what? The tennis ball is such an important part. Without the tennis ball, you have no tennis. Right?
Yeah.
So my fact of the week deals with the tennis ball.
Okay.
And the U.S. Open, there are plus minus 650 matches at the U.S. Open. All right? The average, 650 matches in that 2 week span, which when you look at it, that's a lot of tennis. Okay? At the U.S. National Tennis Center, great complex in Flushing, New York, City Field. If you've never been there, go. My fact of the week deals with how many tennis balls? How many tennis balls are used in those 650 matches, the average? Remember, this is not trivia. This is a fact.
Okay. The average amount of tennis
well, now you have
balls
to
used
get
in those 600
Well,
feet.
yeah. Now you and everyone else are saying, where the hell did he get that question from?
It's a tough one. I know I'm not getting that one.
Now, Wiz, if you get this one, I'll retire tomorrow for sure.
There's no shot I'm getting this one. I'm gonna hold off on it.
I got a
The
number
fact
that's
that
speaking
week
to me.
again this week, you can't even Google this. You can't.
I believe it.
The Iron Bubblehead is up for grabs, everyone. Remember, plus minus 650 matches at an average are being used at the U.S. Open the next 2 weeks. How many tennis balls are being used in those matches? That's your fact of the week. You don't get it now. Get it later. If not, I can answer it again. I don't think anyone's going to get it anyway, but you never know. There might be another Wiz out there. All right, Cal, you're going to give us a brief sports update, real brief.
Absolutely.
Then we're going to take it to a brief back, and then when we come back, a lot of keep it in the ring. The boxing, and of course, a lot of pro wrestling talk. Sports with Rich. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's Robert the Rizzo. The Wiz. We're here every Tuesday live, 8 to 10 p.m. or so, SLG Network. Back on the other side, here's Cal with an update first.
Absolutely. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the tonight. We have the Cardinals getting demolished by the Cincinnati Reds 5-1. The Marlins are down 6-0 to the Tampa Bay Rays. The Dodgers and Mets, bottom of the fifth, are tied at 3-3. The Twins are beating the crap out of the Red Sox. I bring that up because of the Boston fans that are in chat watching currently. The Astros are up 2-0 over the Rangers, top of the third. We have the Pirates beating the crap out of my Brewers, and we are waiting for the Yankees and Angels first pitch. And we will see you guys with Rich and Robert on the other side of this break.
Doing bad, they gon' love you. Yeah. Doing good, they gon' hate you. Yeah. Look down on your come up, but to the hustle, stay faithful. Big goals by the rate full. Drip everywhere, that's wasteful. Accent color, that's tasteful. We front and center at the tape. Got 3-5 in my blunt. Yeah. 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck. Yeah, now my money up. Yeah, they feeling that. They feeling that. They feeling that. Show her in the truck, then throw it in the guts. Yeah, she feeling that. She feeling that. She feeling that. Niggas talking tough, yeah, till we pulling up. Now he feeling that. He feeling that. He feeling that. Save me a gold casket. My life been tragic. Good gas and blunts pass. Blow out a nigga head gaskets. Fuck boys, don't need them. Yo bitch crazy, better keep her. Yo niggas high when it's time to ride, but I bet that bitch start squeezing. Smoke sessions in the evening. Private chef and we eat it. It's a long way from voyeur to 4 years in Lamborghinis. Move different, can't see me. Only pictures ain't on TV. Tribe meetings and vibe readings. These space race like E.T. We had roaches in the kitchen. Nice rooms in the villa. Took the cards I was dealt, flipped them. I'm the one who do the dealing. Did so much of my own, baby, I don't give a fuck about feelings. Everybody got a lot to say, but ain't nobody came with it. Fuck it, I spend it. Had it, I lent it. Trusted some niggas, now I regret it. I can forgive it, never forget it. Niggas still out there, I ain't gon' dead it. Yeah, this is it, I can't slow up. Niggas muddy from the pole up. Big sauce like a cold cut, you either hoe up or you gon' blow up. Got 3-5 in my blunt, 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck, yeah, now my money up. Yeah, they feeling that. They feeling that. They feeling that. Show her in the truck, then throw it in the guts. Yeah, she feeling that. She feeling that. She feeling that. Niggas talking tough, yeah, till we pulling up. Now he feeling that. He feeling that. He feeling that. Where the ghost mean power, you a star, Omari Hardwick. Seen a lot of hardships, we was taking long trips. Talking through the glass, gotta medicate with strong hits of ganja. Gotta watch how people move around you. My brother got sittings cause of snitch. Niggas dying over bitches, niggas lie like it's religion. If you been dying, you feel me. Gotta keep applying pressure, double up, that boy can stretch it. Good credit or no credit, they need it, go get it. Lil' baby, this is me, what you get is what you see. And you best believe we wore red. Got 3-5 in my blunt, 4 extra mud in my cup. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. I was out of luck, yeah, now my money up. Yeah, they feeling that. They feeling that. They feeling that. Show her in the truck, then throw it in the guts. Yeah, she feeling that. She feeling that. She feeling that. Niggas talking tough,
Back with you here at Sports with Rich. We reached the top of the hour, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the SLG Network Live, as we are every Tuesday from 8 to 10 p.m. or more so. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's the Wiz, Robert Rizzo, my young co-host protege. Keeps getting better and better at RacefulLatinoSports.com. As I do, I also write for NewYorkSportsDay.com and a few others. They call me a whore in the business, as you know. And we'll be at Citi Field the next 2 nights, plus much more. If the Wiz isn't at a barbecue, then he's with me. I don't know. I don't know.
I knew it was coming.
Yes, you were at another barbecue. I think I counted 2 this past week, but that's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you. Yes, he did. That's right. Robert left me at home again. The Wiz did. He did. But you know that I'm an old man. I wouldn't fit in with his crowd. You know, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm at Ring786 on Twitter, Facebook.com, Richman Cuso. And Robert, the Wiz, where do they reach you? Is it scroll throughout the show at the bottom?
Follow me on Twitter, RobertRiz994, Facebook, Robert Rizzo, Instagram, RRizzo4. Follow all my content on Latino Sports.
Great pieces you wrote the past few days. And you forgot one thing. You have another Twitter handle. You know what it is?
What's that?
Yes, you know. Come to my barbecue.com.
At Come to My Barbecue.
A subtitle, Leave Rich at Home. All right. Let's keep it in the ring, okay? Enough of that nonsense. Keep it in the ring, everyone. The boxing and the wrestling talk. I'll get Cal back in and talk some wrestling, and Wiz, feel free to comment. We saw a good fight Saturday night. I had to watch. I was at Citi Field, saw the last end of it, then watched the whole in its entirety. Jose, the Sniper Pedraza, in 140-pound division, split decision draw against the gutty Richard Conway on ESPN. This was a good fight. That's why it went to a split decision. Could have went either way. After I reviewed it, I gave it a draw as well. Could have went either way, though. And Pedraza was able to sustain the cut over the right eye. Might have hindered him a little bit. Good fight. Pedraza might get another major title shot down the line. I think he made another win. Again, as I said every week on this program, if you're a boxing aficionado, and you know, 140 junior welterweight division is stacked. And it's got Teofimo Lopez in there right now as well, looking to take over. So that was a good fight. Pedraza outlanded Comey 41-58 in rounds 5 to 8. Then Pedraza was 38-10 outlanding in the 9th round. That might have been why the judges gave it a draw. Could have gone either way. It's a good fight. Now, the big fight coming up is boxing season gets ready. It's always boxing season with me too. But the major fights, you look at the boxing season. You know what fight I'm talking about, Wiz? Coming up in a few weeks.
September 17th. I can't wait. Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G.
On Zone Pay-Per-View, the trilogy. And you'll hear more as the hype goes on next week. It's in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. The judges have been appointed for the fight. Dave Moretti, Steve Westfield, 2 of the judges. Both Moretti and Westfield, excuse me. That's, oh, no, I do. That's allergies, my friend, or whatever. It's not this.
Just making
sure. Do you buy that argument? You buying that?
I buy it. Health is the number one concern. You gotta keep the health.
That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Enough of this warm weather. I want rain and I want cold. Moretti and Westfield both had Canelo winning the second bout, 115-113. In the first fight, Moretti had in September 2017, which was controversial. He had Triple G winning at 115-113, split draw. So the trilogy is anticipated to end it for this trilogy's due in boxing. Judges are just about the same. And we look forward to this coming up. And I'll have more about it in the next couple of weeks, Wiz. And it might end up being another draw. But you have a trilogy to finally decide it. And a lot of fans are not for this third fight. I am. I want to see a conclusion to this. The two of them despise each other, and they're fighting at 160 or 168. Again, it is Triple G moving up in weight for this one, as Canelo has all the belts at 168.
From where you're seeing it right now, what are we 3 weeks out from the fight?
Just
where
about 3 weeks away. Yeah.
Where are you leaning towards, Canelo or Triple G, and taking the?
Well, I'm looking at Canelo. Triple G has aged a little more. His reflexes aren't as good. Though Canelo lost his last fight. He
Dario
light
Guerrero.
heavyweight.
Dario Guerrero acts for the winner also.
Yeah, Dario, a good friend of the program, a pro fighter himself out there, Long Beach, California. We know real well. Yeah, I right now I'm leaning towards Triple Canelo. To me, he's still the top fighter in the game. Maybe next to Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, they could be, and we're still waiting for that fight to be signed. I hear they keep talking. There's little complications in that, but soon an announcement will be made in a fight sometime later in the fall, early winter, so we'll see. All right. Other boxing news, Deontay Wilder today. Well, the fight's been signed. He's coming back after a year out of the ring after a loss to Tyson Fury in their trilogy bout. Thought about retiring, fighting Robert Helenius. It's a heavyweight eliminator. Pay-per-view, Fox pay-per-view, BBC October 13th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And the undercard bout, Durrell against Lee Plant. Plant lost his titles to Canelo. That gave Canelo that 4-belt era title, 4 belts in this era. And they went at it. They were there live in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center today on the podium, going back and forth. It was nasty. They don't like each other. Now, what got me here and irritated me, as I will have, it's going to post on NewYorkSportsDay.com in a matter of moments. Wilder and Helenius were not there. They did a virtual press conference, the main event, with media at the Barclays Center. A virtual press conference for a major fight on pay-per-view. Does that make any sense?
That makes no sense, honestly. If you're trying to compete with all these other promotions, like, why have a virtual press conference?
I don't get it.
Well,
now,
if you mind me asking, what promotion? What promotion?
This is Deontay's promotion, Wilder Promotions, PBC. They're the managing company that puts this together in Barclays Center. And Wilder said couldn't get there. Once he found out Lennis, who's fought at Barclays 2 times against whatever. He's fought there. They both have fought there. They know the arena well.
That's just so odd, because that's how you grow the sport. That's how you grow the audience leading up to Saturday. That physical altercation, that lead up.
Why even have a press conference announced to be live when your 2 main event guys are not going to be there, and they decide to do a virtual presser? 2 big screens. Wilder had a lot to say, but nobody could ask him anything. What made him come back? He had thought about retiring. He sat. A lot of
important questions.
He took a beating from Fury in his last fight a year or so ago in Las Vegas in the trilogy. And there were a lot of questions they asked Deontay Wilder. Where does he stand in this heavyweight title mix now with Tyson Fury? And we're going to talk about him now, too, in a moment. The Tyson Fury still hasn't decided whether he's retiring or not. And yet he's not there. And neither is Helenius there. Virtual press conference. Media there, you want to ask questions. Now, I didn't go because I knew neither one of them were going to be there. It made absolutely absurd. Made no sense.
No, that's bad on all parties, because there were many people traveling to that conference today with no knowledge whatsoever that it was all virtual. Many people would
regardless, you know what? It's going to be an interesting fight because we're to see Wilder back in the ring and see what he does, and if he's going to have any say in the matter again with the heavyweight title division picture now, with Anthony Joshua out of the picture now, and now Wilder getting back in the mix, not knowing what Fury's going to do. Usyk, the champion, who has all the belts except the WBC title held by Tyson Fury. So, this made no sense. And maybe because Fox pay-per-view and the PBC are too busy, because Saturday or Sunday, a rare pay-per-view fight again on a Sunday night. Usually Saturday night. Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champ, who knocked Joshua off a couple of years ago in New York at the Garden. That's a main event pay-per-view fight Sunday night, Fox pay-per-view. I have no interest in this at all. No interest at all. But the winner of that fight could get a heavyweight title shot soon. And it makes no sense at all. There are other guys in that heavyweight division that deserve a title shot more than those two. That's not to diminish the skills of both. They're two good Latino fighters, but it's a pay-per-view. Why buy it? Why put $74 up to see that? That's not a pay-per-view fight. That's more of a free Fox BBC boxing Saturday night show. What makes that pay-per-view interesting is Adman Ramirez is coming back after like 4-year layoff after a torn retina, and I hope he's okay. I hope he comes out of this okay. The two-time champ on his comeback, and he's got his comeback fight Sunday night. He's been a PBC Showtime analyst on Showtime for Showtime Boxing. He's back in the ring Sunday night. All right. Demetrius Bivol, who defeated Canelo months ago, knocked him off, light heavyweight champion. It's set. Good fight coming up. Gilberto Ramirez, light heavyweight titles. The purse has been settled November 5th. Saudi Arabia. A lot of fights are going to Saudi Arabia, and that's one big one coming November 5th. Matchroom Eddie Hearn's promotion is doing a lot in Saudi Arabia. They want boxing there. They throw a lot of money into it. They're getting a lot of major fights over there in the Arab Republic. So that one is coming up. But there's a lot more boxing going on in the weeks ahead. We'll keep you updated here on the program Sports with Rich. Any thoughts, Wiz, on that stuff?
I'm just super stoked.
Getting your feet met with the sport?
I'm super stoked for Canelo Triple G. I've been counting down the days. That's Saturday. It's going to be epic college football. Then the main event with Canelo and Triple G, but then you have football the following day. It's just like there is no sleep when it comes to the weekends in the fall. Football, boxing, college football, baseball.
Oh, no. It's my favorite time of the year because you have all of that. But it rains, which I love, and it's cool and fresh, which I love. So it's coming soon. It's coming soon. All right. Keeping the Ring continues. We do pro wrestling. All right. Come on in, Cal.
I'm here, pal.
Right on time. You got to help me out here.
Always.
What are you drinking?
Water, of course. You got to stay hydrated.
Health is the main priority.
Yeah, I come home, I produce the show, and then I go to the gym, Got to get ready for my
but you don't
debut whenever that time comes.
Well, you could probably be a heavyweight fighter too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And you look like someone I know, but I can't pinpoint it right now. But I'll let you know later.
Okay,
all right.
I'm here for it.
Cal, where's interject because he's still not there with the wrestling stuff yet. So
sure.
He'll just sit there and he'll go like this. He'll listen and he'll go like this.
Absolutely.
Until he gets more into it. I was extremely disappointed, Cal. AEW seems to be on the downslide. There's no doubt about it. Their ratings haven't been that great. This match was a disappointment. And there's reasons behind this. Is they're going to do a rematch, Punk and Moxley, September 4th at All Out. Were you surprised at the outcome of that match?
Because I pay attention to the dirt sheets and I heard prior to the match happening that they were going to fight again September 4th at All Out, I knew that there was going to be a screwy finish somehow, and I think all wrestling fans did. When the bell rung, everybody's like, oh, they're actually having this match. okay, what's going to happen? And then Punk gets injured. I've theorized on like what could be the outcome of this, but I agree that it felt like AEW jobbed out their world title in a match on live television, which is like probably the worst thing you can do as a company because it makes the company look bad, not the wrestlers in the ring. So
right.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with Punk. Had nothing to do with CM Punk's injury coming back with the foot. I think they set it up so it could be a big rematch for the pay-per-view on Saturday. It's set that's Saturday night, right?
Yep.
No,
sorry. All out is Sunday. Hold on.
At WWE, and then we're going to get to Clash at the Battle of the Castle in a moment because their event is coming up Saturday morning, so they don't conflict with each other on Peacock.
Correct, Saturday at noon Central Time. Yeah.
Right, Clash at the Castle. But let's get back to AEW and Tony Khan. And Wiz, interject because I know you know who Tony Khan is. You know what association with Jacksonville Jaguars, NFL, and you also know how I talk about him all the time. I think very highly of him. But Cal, to me, AEW right now is hitting a low point. Why? I'm not the only one thinking that way.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing that wrestling fans buy into is long-term and mid-term storytelling, and then also the AEW is made for more hardcore wrestling fans who actually enjoy the in-ring efforts that superstars can bring. So there's a lot of that lacking right now, including one of their main superstars, MJF, who hasn't been seen for months. He was the second highest minute-for-minute draw when it came to TNT and TBS's actual ratings. So he hasn't been on the show in 4 months. You're getting CM Punk versus John Moxley, which if you ask any wrestling fan, sure, those are two big names in the industry. They're not in-ring technicians, and nobody expects that to be a 5-star match by any means. So the product
right now, there are too many guys on their roster. Not enough room for them to work. Correct. In addition, you have Warlord, who's one of my favorites there, not getting enough time. And is he better as a baby face or the heel? And MJF's coming back. I'm pretty sure they're saving him for the event middle of September at the U.S. Tennis Center, Arthur Ashe, where the U.S. Open is taking place right now. I keep hearing that's where he's going to make his big return, or he might even interfere in the Moxley match. The rematch, Moxley and this weekend with Punk and Moxley, he might have an impact in that. Maybe come back as a face. Who knows?
And that would be huge because MJF is known as a guy who can talk a crowd into feeling however he wants them to feel. So if he wants to be a face, he can be a face, but he's always been a heel because being a heel sells more tickets for a good guy to punch you in the face. People want to see that over time. MJF's really great at it, but if he comes back this Sunday, I'm sure the pop is going to be pretty crazy for him in Chicago.
A heel versus a face. You think I'd be a good heel against the face of Robert Rizzo?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, he does actually. He might be the heel. He leaves you at home and he goes to barbecues.
Yeah, no, he is.
I knew it was coming up again.
I mean, I have to. You're the bad guy in this scenario, Robert.
Who wins the match, me or the Wiz?
I'm because of your experience in the industry, Rich. I have to go your way.
We got to find some betting odds for that.
It's never.
FanDuel.
It's never gonna. You know what? It's never gonna come down to that because I love the guy so much.
Yeah, you just gotta give him the finger poke of doom.
Yeah, barbecue and that. I'd make him win all the time.
There you go.
All right, AEW on the downslide.
Yeah.
WWE ratings are up. And a big pay-per-view overseas. Where is it? Cardiff, Wales? Where is it?
Cardiff, Wales. Yep. Clash at the Castle, baby.
Wales. Right now. Roman Reigns has been regulated now to a part-timer with his new contract as the champion with both belts. He's the Universal Champ. So how do you see the outcome in this event Saturday? We see it Saturday morning. Of course, it's evening their time. It's a part-timer now. They split the belts up. McIntyre ends up getting one, and then they split it up because you can't have a part-timer holding both titles. You got to be on both shows, Raw and SmackDown. How are they going to do that?
Yeah, I mean the problem is brilliant of a man in the wrestling industry as Vince McMahon was. He really booked himself into a corner with both titles being on one guy, because WWE for the last 3 months has been trying to figure out a way to write it so it makes sense to take one title off and or both titles off in this case, and Roman schedule, which he did indeed sign that contract to do so. I think if we're going to see Roman take a hiatus, he loses this to Drew and Cardiff. Drew loses one of the titles to one of the other stars on whatever show they decide to keep him on. And then we have both titles back on their respective networks. And that's what the networks are starting to clamor for, too. USA is sick of not having a world champion to clamor for on their network.
Right. That's the word I'm getting, Cal. You're right on top of it. Okay,
Absolutely.
so another one I'm interested in is Seth Rollins. And now we see a new Riddle, Matt Riddle. They got the names back, the whole name. That is becoming I've never seen Riddle like this. He's bringing back the UFC in him.
Yeah. Last night on Monday Night Raw, it got pretty personal when after the interview, they showed footage of Rollins bringing up the fact that Riddle's wife had left him and took the kids and they don't want to see him anymore. Riddle kind of...
And that's a true story. That is not scripted. This really happened in their lives. And they're bringing it live to TV, Wiz. It's really fascinating how they're bringing this out. And yet these two are not hateful of each other. They really respect each other. But bringing it into this massive feud that's going to end on Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's a tough balance. I don't know how they do that, honestly. Bringing family into the industries.
I genuinely think that wrestling is at its best when you start to blur the lines of what's real and what's not. When you have to start questioning what exactly, like if Riddle knew Seth was going to say that behind the scenes, we don't know that. We'll never know. But that's what makes wrestling so great is the behind the scenes drama that you have.
That's true. I think it's very unpredictable.
I think it is, and I think it's the creativity that's been brought in more now. Does it differently. The fans want it. They're getting it from Triple H. No doubt about it. That's Triple H behind the scenes. I like Ronda Rousey and a match with Liv Morgan. And I hope Morgan loses. I can't stand the character, the whole success story. Ended for Christ's sakes. Let Rousey win. Shayna Baszler might get involved. Another one of my favorites. But in the end, I want to see Rousey and Baszler team up. Does the title go back to Rousey? What do you see?
Well, Rousey doesn't have a match this weekend. We have Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan. Rousey's been training Baszler.
I know. Does she get the title back eventually?
You're not going to like my answer, but I don't think she should. I think Rousey is better in the Brock Lesnar role of the female division, right? Have her show up wherever she needs to at one of the top 4 pay-per-views because her name is
that's a good answer, Cal. Why would I not like that answer? That was good.
Because, well, you like Ronda.
We're talking Ronda. It doesn't matter who you like or not. It's just a matter of, I see who, my years working in that industry, the few I had.
Right.
I mean, fan favorites, who the fans want, and I happen to like Shayna Baszler. And I also like the other one. That's with the, was it Attitude? What's that group called again?
Control? Talking about Bayley, Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai?
No, the hell with Bayley. I can't stand her. No. The other, no. You couldn't get me to. You couldn't get me to go out with her either. No, the other one, the Attitude with Edge. Edge used to be with the faction, the other group.
Oh, Rhea Ripley. Sorry, in the Judgment Day.
Yeah, no, I like the word. You give me. I love her. Where are they going? Where are they going with that angle, Cal?
So I believe Cardiff. We're gonna have. Beth Phoenix, Edge, and Rey Mysterio against the Judgment Day. I'm pretty sure this whole thing has been set up so that way Dominic Mysterio will turn on his father, the legendary luchador, and he'll join Judgment Day.
See that happen. You could see that coming for months and more. Because Triple H has his take on that one, the way he's doing it. And finally, you see Triple H bringing back a lot of the legends, and you see Triple H bringing back a lot of guys that he never wanted to see go. And last night on Monday Night Raw, it was the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Where does he stand? Does he stay there in some angle or not?
I like what you did there. Good wordplay. Kurt Angle, he's been rumored to want to get back into wrestling and have one more quality match. The last time we saw him wrestle, he couldn't get up in a manner that looked believable to be a wrestler, quote unquote. I would love him as an on-screen authority figure again, but I highly doubt that he'll end up being in a productive manner for on screen. He might be a behind the scenes coach, and I think that'd be fantastic for WWE. But as far as being on screen, I highly doubt it.
Word has it that Kurt Angle is one of the Wiz's favorites.
Is that so?
I used to watch when I was younger, and he was a big catch back then. I loved the firework entrance.
Because he drank a lot. You know why he liked Kurt Angle so much?
Why? Because he went to barbecues.
No.
He does. He does go to a lot of barbecues.
Kurt Angle drinks a lot of iced coffee.
Yes, he does.
That's why he's so energetic, like me.
Yeah, and he also drinks a lot of milk, as we see.
Yep. Absolutely, a lot of milk.
The Wiz doesn't have. Yeah, but the Wiz doesn't have his milk and cookies by the end of the night, though.
Oh, yeah. That's the difference right there.
No. All right, Cal. Great take on what's going on in the pro wrestling world.
Absolutely.
Love talking about it because I'm no longer in the industry, but I'm still on top of it, and I always like to read and hear what's going on. I follow it thoroughly. Wiz knows that. Let's keep it in the ring time.
Absolutely.
And by the way, you can still catch some of my old audios from WFAN. 3 o'clock in the morning, I used to do with Jody McDonald on Sports Radio 66 WFAN. And they're on YouTube. Somebody put them up. I go back and I say, that was me talking pro wrestling at 3 a.m. The Wiz wasn't born, neither were you. But I was around at 3 in the morning doing wrestling talk radio, believe it or not. Cal, great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We're going to go to another break in a moment. Yep, to keep it in the ring this week. We'll get Cal back again in a moment. Wiz, coming up, we have a lot to talk about the NFL because that season is approaching fast. What are we, 10 days away from kickoff? What is it?
Just about 10 days, 9 days away.
There's a lot of NFL news as we get closer. It was cut down day to day to 53 on the rosters. A lot of movement, quarterbacks, other players, a lot of big names, a lot of things going on, and a big NFL special on the program next week, and we'll talk more about that later. So we got that coming up, and of course, we get you with Nobody Beats the Wiz as we do every week, and still to come, we got to get the answer to that fact of the week. This is Sports with Rich, Tuesday nights live, 8 to 10 p.m. or more, here live on the SLG Network, nationwide, worldwide, also on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Rich Mancuso. That's the Wiz, Robert Rizzo. Brief break, back on the other side with NFL talk, and Nobody Beats the Wiz. Back in a moment.
What's good, everybody? My name is Caleb from the Bayou City Boys over here on the SLG Network. Happy to announce that we are now working with Dano's Seasoning. So if you're anything like me, you meal prep all the time, Dano's is the way to go, man. They got multiple flavors. Hit them up. Be sure to use our code SLG Network. Appreciate every single one of y'all. Peace.
Spending money like it's nothing. I don't have a budget. Please don't get offended when you see the kids stunting. Got my queens with me, but it ain't no Scarborough bluffing. See, I'm riding solo while dependent bitches cuffing. I got all I need, me, myself, and I just love it. I've been gone.
And we're back at you here live on the SLG Network, Sports with Rich Mancuso, the Wiz, Robert Rizzo. Don't forget to get us on our social media handles, Ring786 at Twitter, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso, among others. And the Wiz can be reached where?
Robert Riz 994 at Twitter, R Rizzo 4 Instagram, Robert Rizzo Facebook, and follow me on Latino Sports, all content week by week.
And also Latino Sports, New York Sports Day, whatever. We're constantly on the run. We're busy. We'll be at Citi Field the next 2 nights, taking in this big Mets-Dodger series, 2 of the top teams in baseball, the top 2 teams in the National League. That's 3-3, that game, top of the 7th at Citi Field, a good one, and it was expected to be a good series. Jacob deGrom goes tomorrow for the Mets. Clayton Kershaw, a couple of Cy Young Award winners there, Wiz, on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, we're getting into that stretch of baseball as we go into now. Out of the dog days of summer, the September stretch, it's going to be very interesting final month of the season into early October. But the NFL season is right around the corner. And like I said, we will be looking at the NFL more. What do we got a comment up there first from Dan Hood?
Yeah, we got a comment.
Jalen Hurts. You want to take that first about Jalen Hurts, and then we'll move on to all the news coming out of the NFL.
Yeah, I'll take that first. I honestly think Jalen Hurts is going to have a great year. They made the playoffs last year. Eagles, first-year coach Nick Sirianni made an impact right then and there. Defense, offense was working. That offensive line, if they stay healthy, Eagles have a shot to go all the way in that division. The NFC East, honestly, 9-10 wins does it year by year. And Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, they shift year by year with the division lead. It's the Giants that end up in the bottom. But Jalen Hurts, I've been watching since the Oklahoma, Alabama days when he transferred over there. And the kid's phenomenal. Year by year, he's always developing. And he's a dual threat quarterback, running, passing, whatever you name it, he can do it.
I like the Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. And our good buddy Ricardo does Eagles Spanish radio talk all the time, how good Hurts is. The thing is, who will back him up offensively? Good quarterback needs good receivers, needs good running back. Do the Eagles have enough to do that? Something to look at next week to ask to our experts that'll be on the air with us as we analyze the upcoming season for the Eagles and all the other teams in the NFL. But the preseason injuries continue. I've said whether it be 1 game, 2, 3, 4, they're going to get hurt. And it's really hit a peak this preseason, which leads me to say again, they have to stop it. Do 1 game and do more scrimmages, teams with teams, because this is the result. And we're going to go by it. We're going to go at that a little more right now. Let's talk first about Justin Fields, Wiz. Go ahead.
Yeah, Justin Fields, it feels like everyone's making noise. The second-year quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, obviously he's injured right now, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Jordan Love. But it goes down the list. Right now, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have the best year out of that photo. Off-season moves, they built around him at the wide receiver position and the running back position. Travis Etienne, his Clemson teammate, he was injured last offseason coming into the draft. I believe he got hurt during training camp, so he never got his foot on the right path. So right then and there, I think the Trevor Lawrence and Jaguars will improve. Justin Fields, I think he'll grab that second spot. The second-year quarterback coming in, new coaching style. They implemented a new style with him, and it favors him. Dual threat quarterback, similar to Jalen Hurts. He was getting compared to Russell Wilson and Cam Newton when they were younger. That was Jalen Hurts, similar to Justin Fields now. If they can build around those guys, then Eagles, the Bears, those franchises have a chance. And my third one is Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson will have a bounce-back year. Biggest thing with him is injury concerns. If he can stay on the field, he'll make the plays. Last year, he had 13 games, but only 9 touchdowns. And when he was playing, he still seemed hurt a lot of the time. So with the Jets' offensive line lingering, that's what they try to improve this offseason. Joe Douglas
Good point, Wiz. Good points. And I look at Trevor Lawrence in his 3rd year, finally becoming the Trevor Lawrence we saw in college. And I think he's going to put Jacksonville as a top pick. Never really has come up to live up to be the quarterback, that big hype first-round pick. And another question I'm going to ask the experts next week, what can we get out of Trevor Lawrence this season with Jacksonville? All right. So we talk about the injury bug, and we look at what happened to the Giants' top rookie. He's out. T-Box, right?
Kayvon Thibodeau. Or Thibodeau. I messed it up.
Thibodeau box or Tebow?
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. T-Box, whatever. He's hurt. He's gone. And that's a part of this preseason schedule crap.
Yeah, we agreed on it last week. They attempted to move it from 4 to 3 games, hoping that the injuries would slow down, but they got to minimize it even more, or just have it be practice games, do scrimmages, do the mini camps, because injuries are coming up every Saturday and Sunday with these preseason games. Kayvon Thibodeau, as you said, Zach Wilson a few weeks ago. These guys are getting banged up, and it's not even September yet, let alone like,
it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt the Giants and #1 pick. And that's just it. Fans looking forward to a nice season from a rookie that they draft, and they're not even going to get to see him play. Also Colin Johnson, the Giants wide receiver, a big part of their offense, down with a torn Achilles. Preseason again.
More preseason injuries. It just happens with every position. It's something you can't avoid. That one big hit, that's all it takes. And Kayvon Thibodeau is one, as you said. TJ Watt, another on the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got paid a massive amount, and just like that, one play can ruin his season, but he'll be back by week 2. But ACL injury in August, like I was saying before, what happens when we get down the line to December in the cold weather? And they're already banged up now.
I read that 53 players, key players in the NFL, are down with injuries already. That's unbelievable. It's phenomenal. All right, still about TJ Watt. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, and for fan bases, as we said before, it just ruins your season. You're so interested in looking at and watching your second-year quarterback, for example, Justin Fields. I'm a Bears fan. He gets hurt. I have nothing to look forward to as a Bears fan this whole season. The preseason, obviously, it's for development and the guys that may get cut, may make the spot. But Justin Fields, at the end of the day, he's going to be playing week 1. So
too many preseason games. They've got to do something about this. The only way they can do that is the fans speak up, and they don't do it. So there's a result. And that also goes for the NBA. It goes for Major League Baseball with all the pre-exhibition games in baseball. They've cut that down a little bit, but it's just one too many. Do scrimmages amongst yourself. I understand that you want the action of a real game, of what's going to come during the season. But at the sake of risking injury, it's just not worth it. And that's what goes on year after year. So they got to come to some type of agreement on that before it just gets worse and worse. All right. We looked at TJ Watt, and then Tom Brady made a lot of news with Tampa Bay. Good old Tom Brady's always making news.
He's always making news, but he arrived to the Buccaneers training camp this past week or so from a random hiatus. Everyone was in the news about that, making up rumors about him. But at the end of the day, the guy's 45 years old. He'll be there week 1, and that's all that matters because other than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Brady's still top 3, top 5, right then and there in any discussion. Since joining the Cowboys, 83 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. It's Cowboys, Buccaneers, but 83 touchdowns.
You make a mistake. You make a mistake once in a while. You're forgiven.
But 83 touchdowns, 24 interceptions in 2 seasons. Again, he's 45 years old. So if media wants to make rumors about Brady during the summer, I'm not worried about it. Week 1 to week 17, he's going to show up in January. That's when he wins the games. Like we say, that old saying, never bet against Tom Brady.
Oh, I've known that. I've seen that, especially in the fourth quarter late. If Tampa Bay or whoever, New England, whoever he was guiding, they're down, and Tom Brady got the ball. All right, he's a little older now. The skills aren't like they were. They're still good. Don't never doubt him because he's going to drive his team to a win. Never count against Tom Brady, and that goes for his team. They may not be as good as they were from their Super Bowl winning year, but still Tom Brady. Let's face it, it's still Tom Brady, and you got to watch him. He's still got the skills. He's still got it. I'm
not worried about Brady. It's just the offensive line, and they're banged up with injuries to begin with, like we were saying with the preseason. 2 offensive linemen, they're already hurt. And when you're thinking of Tom Brady, a 45-year-old, he needs protection.
All right, OBJ, always in the news. What's with him now?
He remains unsigned. He's still a free agent. He's rehabbing from the torn ACL he went through, I believe, in the Super Bowl in that second half. But when you think of the Rams in that Super Bowl run, it started with that Week 8, that Week 9 trade from the Browns when they acquired Odell Beckham Jr. No one thought of it right then and there, but he was the hidden gem. Robert Woods got hurt, I believe, the week prior. And then Odell Beckham Jr. came in, and he was the guy that So without Odell, they're not making that run. So any team that's looking for a wide receiver, Odell's that guy. 29 years old. Like I said, that clutch factor is the most important thing, and he proved it in January and February. And I think he's just going to bounce back even better from before.
Wiz, talk about. I want to bring up a couple of notes now. Also, with the passing of Len Dawson, I think more before your time, but quarterback of the Chiefs, among others, where he was more known. And rest in peace. And I love that photo because he's got something in his. you don't see that today, but players would openly smoke on the bench. A la Jim Leyland, manager of the Detroit Tigers, Pittsburgh Pirates, could always be seen smoking a cigarette at the end of the dugout, managing those teams. Len Dawson was your epitome of an NFL player who gave it all and was a fan favorite all over the place. You didn't have to be a fan of who he played for. You're just a fan. Rest in peace, Len Dawson, the long illness, and our condolences to the NFL and his immediate family. Now,
I was going to say, and shout out to the Chiefs. This past preseason, they did the Len Dawson tribute with that huddle. I thought that was really symbolic to the fan base and the franchise, in symbolizing and representing their legend.
Isn't it always ironic or what that the Chiefs always happen to come up with a good quarterback? Now, Patrick Mahomes, what he's been doing for them, and his father was a Met old-timer this past weekend. I didn't get to see him. He was in uniform. I wanted to talk to him. I never got a chance. All the media guys were there at Citi Field, the scrum. You can never get what you want. And so that's another story. That's why I'm going to retire soon. All right. The Cardinals, the team that I root for, that I don't think are going to do anything this year. But Kyle Murray's the quarterback, the first-round pick, and Marquise Brown. They were reunited. They both played at school together. And that's something that's becoming now very, very, it's not coincidental, but it's becoming common in the NFL. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back, whatever. Two players, overall picks in the draft, playing on the same team. This is going to be big for the Cardinals if these two get it together.
Yeah, big.
You see this with Tua and Waddle in Miami, and you also see in this with Burrow and Jamar Chase also in Cincinnati with the Bengals. So you're starting to see this more often. But the key here for the Cardinals season, and I'm getting NFL experts next week, I will ask, Marquise Brown and Kyle Murray together. That could turn out to be very huge for those Arizona Cardinals who've been disappointing the last few years.
Yeah, big time. And the first 6 weeks, that's the biggest impact, I believe, with Kyler Murray and Marquise Brown, because they're not going to have DeAndre Hopkins on the other side with the suspension. I believe Hopkins is out for the 6 games with PEDs. He was suspended over the offseason.
Yeah.
But Murray and Brown at Oklahoma, let me tell you, they were a highlight reel every Saturday because they, like I said before, the dual threat and Marquise Brown being short, it reminded you of Antonio Brown, and that's what he got compared to at the draft combine a bunch. Dan Hood commented Eagles, Jalen Hurts plus Devontae Smith. See, that's another perfect example. Alabama up to the Eagles franchise, quarterback, wide receiver. All the connections, it leads to the winning ways. And we see it with LSU, Alabama, Ohio State. We see it every other year.
Well, without that college pool draft system too, you don't get these combinations. So more NFL next week. But you know what? Done with football, the college football, which I love, which you love, that week 1 starts heavy this week. Thursday night, Central Michigan, Oklahoma State. These games will be on ESPN or Fox. West Virginia, Pittsburgh, VMI, Wake Forest. Saturday's got some good matchups in week 1. And I'm just going down the schedule here. You got, let me see, where's the game? Rice USC is appealing. And let's see. I'm going down the schedule, Wiz. I don't know if you have it in front of you. Notre Dame, Ohio. The one I like, Notre Dame and Ohio State on ABC Saturday night. That's going to be a number 5 against a number 2 to begin the college football season and its full slate this coming few days. I like that matchup. That is going to be good. Notre Dame with a new coach, and Ohio State is always a part of the college football bowl game, Final Four or whatever in January.
I was going to say, for all the gamblers out there, Ohio State and Notre Dame is the game to bet. I'll put it out there. I'm taking Ohio State minus 17, whatever the points is. Ohio State's winning by more than 17. C.J. Stroud is on pace to win another Heisman. He won the Heisman last year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So he can go back to back just like that and be a top 3 pick.
And Monday night, you got another. I'm looking here at the schedule. Monday night, Clemson is another part of the bowl system. Clemson is playing. Clemson, Georgia Tech. The number 4 Clemson is they're rated by the AP and Georgia Tech. So, and we'll be doing some college football soon. Not Division I, but Division 1A. Patriot League, Fordham University in the Bronx. Good atmosphere up there. A lot of history at Jack Coffey Field. We're going to be getting there soon with their home opener in mid-September. So, Wiz, next week we'll tell everyone again, and we'll tease it during the week. NFL special next week. We'll have 1 or 2 experts, maybe someone from the Caesar Sportsbook MGM, give us the odds and what to expect. I might line up Scott Engel, our football guru, fantasy guru, who's a football whiz, like you're a whiz and everything. And Sam Garnes, definitely, the former Jet Giant, special teams, defensive end. He's got a lot of takes on those 2 teams and more. So that'll be next week, the NFL special here on the program Sports with Rich. Look forward to that. All right, let's look at the MLS. We always do. NYCFC struggling without Castellanos no longer there. Maximilian Morales is getting the ball. He scored the lone goal. They lost the other night. This team is struggling. They're in 3rd place in the MLS East Conference. They are the defending MLS Cup champions. It's going to be a struggle. Tomorrow night, quick turnaround. DC United is a home game at our favorite arena, Red Bull Arena, because they can't play at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees want to save their precious field for the postseason, don't want it to get ripped up. And yet, Ed Bunny performed there the other night and made a mess of that field. Does that make any sense? No, there's another thing I can't understand.
No, it
2
was a whole
concerts,
weekend thing.
60,000 people almost, people on the field. I don't know how that field's going to look when we go back next week. Watch the Yankees play. But back to NYCFC. They're struggling. They're in 3rd place. They need to win. They need to score goals. They're trying any one of combinations in that pitch to get the ball to someone that can score without Castellanos. And right now, their defending MLS championship is in jeopardy. It really is. They could miss the playoffs. Philadelphia and the Red Bulls are right on them.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth
We'll
with the standings all season. As you said, the offense is the biggest thing. They've been struggling since Castellanos left. The last 5 games, they're 1-4-0. So 4 losses in the last 5 games. Can't be having that.
No. Nick Cushing, the coach, says that he knows they're in a struggle, but the different combinations to try and get the offense going where they can score more than 2 goals because they haven't done it. They've been shut out or they've only 1 goal since Castellanos left. More of that next week. But now, my favorite time of the program. You know what it is. Cal, get it up. I know he's waiting. Yes or no? With the lion there that he is middle, nobody beats the Wiz. All right, Cal, where's that music from Nobody Beats the Wiz?
I hear the music fine.
No, I don't, because I'm deaf. I don't hear it. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to go Nobody Beats the Wiz, music or not. Barbecue or not, I'm doing Nobody Beats the Wiz. I asked the Wiz a question. Oh, there we go. Now that's the mood for Nobody Beats the Wiz. But he doesn't. I never hear him listening to music. You go right in the car with the Wiz. It's either sports talk radio or a game, or me and him talking sports.
I don't miss a beat.
But I never hear him listening to music.
I pay for Apple
Doesn't
Music.
matter.
It's a waste of money every month. I listen more podcasts than radio shows.
All right. If you want to chime in on Nobody Beats the Wiz, leave your comments below in the queue. Wiz, here you go. And that Julio Rodriguez contract with the Mariners that we discussed. Yes or no? Should there be more long-term contracts of these young superstars in Major League Baseball signed as we've been seeing? I mean, Fernando Tatis got one, and now he's a casualty. He's out.
Yeah,
Julio Rodriguez is not like that, but do you like this idea of signing young stars to long-term deals? Position player, 14 years, almost $400 million, yes or no?
I like it for both parties, especially the Julio Rodriguez side, because at the end of the day, both sides win. No one gets screwed with financially down the line when you're 29, 7 years from now. I feel like Julio went in there with his agency and they were really organized. They knew their proposal from the start, and that's what baseball is about. Sign the kid then and worry about it later. Look at the Yankees. They could have had Aaron Judge 2-3 years ago, and now they're waiting for, what, a $350 million contract.
Yeah, they're going to lock him up, but they're going to lose him.
So it's an even balance, but I like those signings. Julio, Tatis, Soto's going to get it in the next 2 years or so.
So you like the idea?
Yeah, I like it.
I don't like long-term deals for any player because something can happen. Lock them up, they can get hurt. Teams lose a lot of money, but then again, this is what the players wanted in the new CBA, and they got it. So it's happening. All right, Nobody Beat the Wiz. Yes or no? We saw the Mets return Old Timers Day. Very successful at Citi Field on Saturday. Now, I always like Old Timers Day. The Yankees have done it every year. But this year, the tradition of playing the 2-inning game didn't happen. They claimed COVID was the reason, but we're going beyond that right now. Old Timers Day, a lot of teams don't do it, Wiz. They used to. They don't anymore because they say it's too costly. You know, you got to transport the players in, got to house, put them up, hotels and all that. Now, you've not been around really for many Old Timers Days, maybe none. But do you like that idea? You're still a youngster with Old Timers, but do you like Old Timers Day? Yes or no?
Yeah, because it brings me back to my childhood. Like I said before, seeing Jose Reyes, Billy Wagner, then Daniel Murphy on the same field, it just gives you flashbacks of like that 2016, 2015 team. And now you have the same similarities with the 86 team growing up, and you're watching them every day. Like, that's just something for baseball and fans in general. That's a win for MLB. Okay,
so you like it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
100%.
So do I. You get a yes there for me, too. All right. Nobody beats the wish. Yes or no? Here we go. Look at him. He's just waiting to see what question's coming up. He's sweating. He's blushing. He doesn't know.
It's August. It's still hot out here.
Yeah, no, there are too many graphics on MLB telecast. On the regional networks, the national telecast, on Apple now, and all these streaming services they have where they're making a lot of money. And in the NFL, too, too many scrolls at the bottom. The red zone, how much towards the first down, the TD marker, the stats. It's too much. It's confusing. I grew up watching NFL. I watching every sporting event. I go back to the black and white TV, then went to the color and all this, and to the small TV, the big screen. And, I remember when you just had the game. And it takes away from the flow of what you're watching. But I can understand. It's a new world. They want to do it. You as a young guy, yes or no, do you like that graphic content scrolling in front of your face, watching a game? Yes or no?
I like it, but to a degree. Say, for example, baseball, I hate it. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how hard you hit the ball or the exit velocity, the launch angle, if it's an out. That's all the stats I see nowadays. Guys will go 7 for 10, but media and these different networks are saying, oh, the exit velocity is not there. He's still struggling. It's a weird degree. Football, I like it.
It's too
Football,
much.
Football, I like it because it's organized. It shows me right then and there where the first down mark is, where everything else is, and the time management. I like that for football. Basketball, they can fix it. I feel like there's too many advertisements with basketball. I see it too much for a 2.5 hour game. There's at least over
and too
50
loud.
ads. There's 50 ads.
And too loud.
NBA
Too
game.
loud. Yeah. So you don't mind it at all then?
No, baseball is my main concern.
All right, well, because that's the young generation. They like that stuff. Helps them when they gamble. It helps them when they get online. Let's face it, sports has become wagering. That's what it's all about. All right, nobody beats the Wiz, yes or no? I can't stand this. I can't stand obnoxious, loud sports commentators. Not the highlight shows, even that I can't stand. You know, we've watched ESPN highlights to get MLB, and they're just too loud. Every play-by-play guy's got to get too excited, too loud. And there's one I'm not going to mention that I can't stand, but he's the NBA on TNT. You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention names. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, whether they're watching or not. They're too loud. You know, I called boxing. I've done pro wrestling where you have to do that. But, you know, boxing, I'm not going to scream. Besides, my voice would go anyway. But some of these guys are too loud. I can't take that. Do you like that? Yes or no?
In all the sports, I don't like it except football. Football, I love it. And the number one guy for it every Saturday afternoon is Gus Johnson on Fox Sports.
Oh, he's one of them I can't take.
I love it. I honestly love it. It just gets me going.
I will not watch a game that Gus Johnson is calling because it makes me nervous.
His anticipation just makes me want to play.
I'm sorry, I can't take it. I go back. I love Vin Scully, who did a lot of sports besides Dodgers and baseball, right? I go back to guys like that. They didn't scream. They painted the picture even on TV. Then again, I'm an old man and you're not. So you like it, I don't. Nobody beats the Wiz. Here's another one. We talked about the Fernando Tatis injury. We talked about these, you know, do you avoid, yes or no, a long-term contract when a player like that gets hurt and is out for the year? Yes or no?
No, I don't think you can void it, especially this early in the contract with everything. I feel like you can't void it because there's another superstar in the making with Juan Soto right then and there. If you're not going to pay your superstar, your homegrown superstar, then how are you? If I'm Soto, it's just a lot of discourse. I wouldn't want to be part of that if that's the case. They're going to pay him, and I think that's the best case scenario.
Well, you had on to the contract. That's what it's all about. And there were injury clauses in the contract. I think what the owners have to do with teams in every league that offer long-term, especially in MLB, got to put something in there. You get hurt by a motorcycle accident because you're being too rough or something like that doesn't pertain to what's going on in the field. Well, then you have clause in that contract. Got to terminate or reduce it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with that.
That I would do. Yeah.
I agree with that, and I feel like before they had that, it should have been done before that.
Yeah.
With these clauses.
Well, they got to look at that. But the Players Association is so powerful in sports with the major leagues, won't allow that. They've taken over, so they won't allow that. All right, we're winding down, Wiz. Here we go. Two-part for you. Yes or no, nobody beats the Wiz. You know, I've noticed that he doesn't eat much. I'm on the road with him a lot lately. We spend a lot of time together. When he's at a barbecue without me, of course, you know. I don't know what he does there. I know when he's with me, he doesn't eat a lot. And if it is, it's a pizza. I could be having a nice gnocchi Italian meal with nice tomato sauce. And he's got to have like a piece of pizza. That's his meal. And he doesn't get fat. I do. Because he's young. He doesn't have metabolism like I have. All right? Nobody eats the Wiz. More so, yes, no. How many meals do you eat a day?
I'm going to be honest. I probably have 2 meals. On a good day, 3 meals. But 2 meals mostly. I start my day late, and then it's a coffee, and then after that it's a late lunch.
Iced tea, iced coffee, pizza, and burgers. Those are his meals of the day. All right, Wiz, another one for you to wrap this up. Yes or no, nobody beats the Wiz this week. We saw Aldous Chapman with the tattoos. All right? Personally, I hate tattoos. I tried getting one once on top of my head. I really did. I bet someone I would do it. Developed into a situation where I almost got deadly infected. And that happened to Aldous with his tattoo on his knee. You look like a tattoo guy. And a lot of young people your age love tattoos. Yes or no? Tattoos or not? Will you? If you don't?
I'm a huge no to tattoos. I hate tattoos overall. I just don't like it. The color, the pain you got to go through with it. To begin with, I don't like needles, so you won't see me getting a tattoo anytime soon.
Cal, come on in. As we close up this segment, Cal, come in here.
What's up, buddy?
I got to ask Cal this. Cal?
Mm-hmm.
Something tells me the Wiz has a tattoo somewhere, doesn't want to tell us where.
Oh.
No shot.
Interesting.
No shot.
Interesting. Are you trying to get
Cal, word on the
does?
street. Yeah, well, no, Cal, word on the street as we close up Nobody Beats the Wiz this week.
Right.
Word on the street is you have a Milwaukee Brewers tattoo somewhere on you.
Yeah, no, that'll never happen. You might give me for a Green Bay Packers logo down the road, but I only like to put tattoos on my body of franchises that actually care about their fans. So
That's a good point.
All right.
Yep.
Well, the Wiz says he doesn't have a tattoo, but this, I'm sure when he goes to the barbecues, all his friends have them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There we go.
And I think a requirement to go to one of those barbecues, you got to have a tattoo.
You gotta have the secret tattoo to get in.
Yeah, that's probably with that. All right, Cal, hang in there because you're going to do a final sports update because we're closing up this week. That's Nobody Beat the Wiz, yes or no? We do it every week here on the program, Sports with Rich. And he's a good sport every time I get him at the end. That's the Wiz Robert Rizzo. I'm Rich Mancuso. This is Sports with Rich. We're going to take a brief break. Cal's going to give another final update of the scoreboard. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up, go into next week. We got some notes of interest to tell you about. And, just stay tuned because an interesting final end of the program for 10, 15 minutes. Sports with Rich on the other side after this. Go ahead, Cal, with the sports update.
And it is time for the second installment of the night of the Spunky Sports. Dramatic pause is Calvin Kamrath, and here are some of your MLB scores for the night. The Mets are currently down to the Dodgers middle of the 8th, 4-3. We have the Braves down to the Rockies 3-2 in a tight NL race for that division. The Astros are up 3-2 over the Rangers, bottom of the 6th. The Red Sox once again are still being beaten by the Minnesota Twins. The Yankees are up 2-0 over the Angels. The Brewers have tied it up against the Pittsburgh Pirates, 2-2 in the middle of the 7th. By golly, there is hope without Josh Hader. And that is your Spunky Sports update. We'll see you guys back on the other side of this break with Rich and Robert. We'll see you soon.
What's up? It's Caleb from Bayou City Boys. Be sure and tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 for all things Houston sports related. If not, you can fight me.
Talking crazy cuz captain. Say sipping that, he just acting. We can shoot a movie, getting active. These niggas fool the thing family. I stayed humble, now snapping. We was on the outs, now we back in. Boy, I'm eased up, young nigga creased up, no slacking, yeah. Fuck niggas wanna kill me. Only real nigga feel me. This behind the music, this is fire to it. If it's wild, better feel me.
All right, we're wrapping it up. We're at the top of the hour, 10 p.m. Eastern. Quick it goes with Sports with Rich every Tuesday night, 8 to 10 or more here at Live SLG Network. YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. My channel also, Rich Mancuso. And we're going to get some notes in, wrap it up in a few moments. And thank you all for being with us. And, where's the Mets game? It's 4-3 Dodgers, and the Braves are losing. So the Mets are hoping that Colorado Rockies will do what they did to them. And if the Mets lose this game, then it goes down to 2 games. So it's going to get interesting even more. If the Braves should win, the Mets lose, it's 2 games going into tomorrow night with Jacob deGrom on the mound.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game every night until October, honestly. I feel like it's going to be a 3-game lead, a 2-game lead until the end. That 3-game series in Atlanta, I believe October 2nd it starts, October 1st, right around there. That's going to make the season.
It's going to come down to that. When the Mets have got 9 hits tonight, I'm just looking. They're 0 for 4 runners in scoring position. They've left 7 men on, so that's part of the problem. And then look at the box score. And Walker pitched relatively well, and the bullpen also. This is Rodriguez gave up 1 run. I mean, he doesn't go to the postseason roster. Hunter's in there now, was in there, and our favorite, Mikael Gibbons, is Met fans love Mikael Gibbons. They love him. So he's in there now. So we all saw this, and we're buzzing about this Mickey Mantle card. Now, when I was a kid, I collected my baseball cards, and I had Mickey Mantle cards. Maybe not that one, but I threw them all out because my mother said they're garbage, wasting time. When we were kids back then, not like kids today. They don't. If they get Tops or whatever baseball cards, they don't keep them. You get the bubble gum in there that help with your due decay. That happened too. But we flip cards, we trade them on the street, we put them on our pedals on our bicycles. God, I haven't ridden a bicycle in years. I wouldn't know how to do it. But then that would make noise, the flaps. We'd use the baseball cards because it would taking up space in our rooms or whatever. And Mom, let her rest in peace. My mom tomorrow, she's going to be gone now 14 years tomorrow. Which will be a bad day for me. I always take that bit. But Mom always used to rip my cards, just take them and throw them out. And I used to fight. Why are you doing that? And, then I got rid of them all because I used to collect them. And I still have some cards today, but not those. But this Mickey Mantle card, 1952 Topps, sold for $12.6 million, the 3rd most for a sports card, memorabilia-wise. And I thought that was unbelievable for a card. But then again, Mickey Mantle, he's in the news because of Aaron Judge. And what do you think of that, Wiz? I mean, you can collect cards now, whatever's there, and maybe an Aaron Judge card in years to come will be worth that much.
Yeah, I honestly think it will be when it comes down to the industry and the way it's going year by year. The card demand has gone up since the pandemic. And I've been collecting cards my whole life, and I just love to do it. It's just an interest of mine. But for $12.6 million, you said it was the 3rd most expensive sports memorabilia card.
Yeah, it was.
From my research, it was the most expensive baseball card in auction history. So just like that, that's a testament to the industry now. And I wrote about it on a different site called Antiques Help. Article should be out soon about a Jordan auction recently. And I talk about how the industry has moved year by year. It's not just a random eBay sell. Now there's card shows every weekend in Queens and across New York, across the country, autograph signings with the card shows. So it's just going to go up from here, I think, year by year.
Yeah, and that sets some type of precedent for sure. Then again, you talk Mickey Mantle too. So that's something to look out for. This could set a trend. It's nice to see baseball cards going up for auction, especially one like that of Mickey Mantle. But how many now more and how much? That's pretty interesting. Yeah, my question to you is, is there ever going to be a card with your face on it and your stats in the back? I know you didn't have much of a baseball career. It was brief.
It was brief.
Well, we see the Wiz run. How about this? How about we get Cal and the SLG crew to make a card, basically, a sports card of me and you?
The stats would be abysmal. We'd be bottom of the league.
Yeah, but I could put, what? I got to market some. Nobody needs a Mancuso famous saying. which would be I want, they made bobbleheads for John and Susan in Yankee Stadium. I have a baseball card for me, and doing on the back of the card, known for I like cold and rain.
Exactly. We'll have a bunch of fun facts.
And yours would be known for iced tea and leaving the old man home when I go to a barbecue.
The back of my baseball card. Yup.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, anyway, all right. We go to Serena Williams at the U.S. Open, advanced yesterday, and a star-studded. This is a final tour, a final event on a Hall of Fame tennis career. She did for tennis, especially for females. Billie Jean King, you could talk about all about her, but Serena Williams and her sister as well. But Serena has done it all, and now it's time to see her at the U.S. Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, right across from City Field. She won yesterday. She advanced the second round tomorrow, and they're coming out to see her. Mike Tyson was there yesterday. Hillary Clinton was there. Oh, that was worth it, but anyway, she was there. Husband Bill Clinton and many others. She draws attention. LeBron James loves her. She's done so much for women's, females tennis, and tennis, the game overall, professionally, as well as for sports. She's outspoken and she's an advocate for good things, and she's been a great ambassador to the sport, great player. If you get a ticket to see her, savor it. Go see her, enjoy it. It's the last time.
Big time. And year by year, my biggest thing about her, my biggest interest was all the Nike commercials and the advertisements she did. Those were the top-notch commercials that Nike did for athletes, I think, year by year. But Serena Williams made the game fun, and she's going to be remembered as one of the greatest of all times, not just in tennis, but in sports overall, and the impact she left on the sport.
Exactly. So second round for her tomorrow. All right. Now, Wiz, you and I were at Orchard Beach on Saturday in the Bronx, and, I got a glimpse of you before the festivities began for the basketball game. You were thinking, should I play? Should I not play? My shoulder's not good. I don't know. But, here you were. Cal, put that up. What the hell were you doing there? I mean, he's always on his phone, but now I think he's answering text. Should I play? Should I not play? What time is the barbecue when I leave here?
I'm going to be honest with you, right then and there, I was probably looking at the Mets lineup or the Yankees lineup on Twitter and just evaluating it because it was new.
Or were you answering your latest invitation? I'll be at the barbecue in a couple of hours. I'm detained. The old man's got me working here.
Other than I got no invitations, but I get a lot of texts about insight about betting. Everyone wants my betting picks, so all the audience, everyone watching now, you'll get them throughout the weeks leading up to the football season.
Yeah, we're gonna have like our prognostications every week. We'll have a panel, and what we're gonna do during the NFL segment on the program is we're all gonna give out picks and who do you go. It's gonna be a rapid fire type of segment that I'm looking forward to. All right. I went back into the annals. Actually, someone sent me this from years ago. And I put that up, Cal. Where's Rich Mancuso in that photo?
Rich the Stud, you mean? I know where he is.
Cal, come on in. Because I got to bring you in anyway to end this. Cal.
Yeah.
Put that photo up again.
Sure. Oh, wrong one. There you go.
Is that me on the far right?
It looks like you on the far right.
So then what happened to me?
I see a stud right there.
That
was my gang years ago in the old neighborhood in the Bronx. And, I wasn't much of an athlete, but I always was the referee. I know the umpire. I wanted to be a Major League Baseball umpire one time. But what happened to me? I had a full-fledged hair. I was much slimmer. What happened? I can't believe when I look at that was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how many years ago was that and how old I was. Can you believe that that's me? Look at that.
It looked like you were having a grand
It
old
looked like you were
time.
having the time of your life.
Exactly.
Rich. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We had a social club back then, and that was where all the action was. Everybody came there, and I was like the writer, and if I actually did a newsletter back there for the club, they loved it because I give everybody a name, and they were great guys. My old buddy, let him rest in peace, passed away young. Willie Slim, the only Puerto Rican guy in the neighborhood who kept everyone together. And we played sports. We had leagues, and we organized leagues. We even coached kids. We organized, got sponsors for the kids. Something you don't say at all. Probably disappeared. But that was me. And I look at that and say, what the hell happened?
I still see it.
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. You know what? I could tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
See, back then I was going to a lot of barbecues, and I don't go to any no more because I got a certain co-host, young protege, that never invites me to barbecues.
Yeah, he's always going to it by himself.
And back then there was no such thing as iced coffee. You had real hot coffee. Summer,
I wouldn't have
winter,
made it.
you drank coffee.
I wouldn't have made it.
I just drink black coffee, so I would have made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? That was me. I still can't believe that. That was me. Anyway. Oh, well, whatever. So reminiscing is always nice. I'd like to see some baby pictures of the Wiz. That's what I want to get. I'm going to get my hands on them.
They're staying hidden.
And I guarantee he's got a baseball. He's got a baseball bat or a baseball in his hand or a football, whatever he's got.
The oversized baseball hat.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
All right. We're winding down here. So what we got to do now is that Met game is 4-3, top of the ninth, and the Braves are losing. So we'll see what happens. Mets still have a shot at that. Yankees are playing out, and they're laying out. A lot of other scores going on. Next week, more. We're getting into beginning of September. Baseball September stretch. We end the program with the answer to the fact of the week. And I want to know, no one seemed to cue in on it. The Aaron Judge bobblehead is still here. I may end up being away. Let's get the fact of the week answer.
Yeah.
It dealt with tennis. I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're waiting an answer. Tennis balls are being used right now. A lot of them in U.S. Open in Flushing Meadow. Plus minus 650 matches on the average take place the next 2 weeks. And the fact was, not trivia, the fact, how many tennis balls are being used? How many tennis balls are being used over those 650 matches or so?
Okay. I'm going to take a stab, okay? And it's not going to be right, but I'm going to say 48,000.
I was thinking.
You know what? You're not far. You're not far, Cal. You're not right, but you're not far. I didn't even think you'd come up with that. Right, Wiz? You're the Wiz. What do you got?
I'll go with 5,500. Right around there.
5,500 or 55,000?
No, 5,500. 5,500.
And what did you say, Cal?
I said 48,000.
48,000. I thought you said 4,800.
No. 48. What'd you say, Wiz?
I said 55. I said 5,500. I'm probably off.
I said 5,500. No, not too much. Cal I read it wrong the first time. I'll give you the answer. You ready? 4,200.
4,200.
It's so much math. So far off.
Yeah, but I thought.
Well, why do you think
I thought you said 4,600.
No, I definitely said 4,200. What are you guys talking about?
See?
This weird fact of the week.
Hey,
This one wasn't easy.
That was a tough
But if you
one.
do your math, you might have figured it out. They both came in.
Well,
you got the one 2 weeks ago I thought would be tough, and you got that. So
That's true.
Not bad though. Good crack at it, both of you.
We had good guesses.
Yeah. My first guess was better, which was 4,600.
We'll come back stronger next week.
No, not too bad. Yeah, next week. But my run shows you both won't get it. He got it once, he'll never get it again, and he's bragging about to every one of his friends at the latest barbecue in Glen Cove, Long Island.
Absolutely.
That's talk of the town.
Hey, Cal, thanks for a great job again behind the scenes. You always do it every week for us here at Sports with Rich.
Thank you, Cal.
On the SLG Network. Thanks, my friend.
Appreciate you.
Wiz, that about wraps it up.
Awesome show as always. Awesome show as always. I love the theme song, all the commercial breaks. Those songs just get me going. A lot of energy. I don't need the iced coffee when it comes to the show because all the songs in the background.
Well, you know, a show is as good as it could get because I got a great young co-host who assists with the production, who's a superstar in the making in this business. And I'm not just saying that. Guys in the industry who have met you that I know real well are saying that. And you're just going to get bigger and bigger as my protege, as I retire and you take over. They reach you every week. Social media, scrolling down. Where did it get you, Wiz?
Follow me on Twitter at RobertRiz994, Facebook Robert Rizzo, Instagram RRizzo4, and as always, Latino Sports. Week by week, catch all our articles.
And of course, I'm at Twitter Ring786. Don't ask me why I had that handle. I'm not going to tell you. I have no idea. Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso. Instagram, Mancuso786. Well, play those three numbers. Maybe you'll win. I never do. And also LatinoSports.com, NewYorkSportsDay.com, where my columns are. Up right now on NewYorkSportsDay.com is my piece on Deontay Wilder from that virtual press conference today, which I said earlier was a disaster. And, stay in touch with us during the week. Like, comment, and subscribe to SLG Network Sports with Rich. Also, leave comments and also like, comment, and subscribe on my channel as a part of this, Rich Mancuso on YouTube. And with that, I think this is a wrap because next week we're going to have a full 2 hours more and NFL special coming up. Some experts on with us. We will talk our usual baseball fact a week and again, and a little bit of whiz and so forth. But a lot of it's going to be towards the NFL's new season that's almost here, and we'll have the experts on to analyze and talk so you can maybe put in your last picks for fantasy and for week one that's right upon us. Exciting time of year as the NFL kicks off. Right, Wiz?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I've been counting down the days.
I know you are. We'll see you at Citi Field tomorrow night and late Thursday afternoon. And again here next week, live on the SLG Network with Sports with Rich. Till then, I want you all to stay safe, be good to each other, have a great week. And as always, Wiz, what do we say?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring, everyone. God bless. Till next week. Sports with Rich. Thank you all.